one dose solves any problem.
Welcome to a little dose of coffee card review. We're gonna try and go through them a little bit, showcase them. Maybe you guys can help me a little bit as well, okay? So let's start a little bit with the mechanics before I jump into this, okay? So this is Cataclysm, launching 17th March. We are expecting 10th March to be the arena rotation, which will include it. We'll probably know more on the 9th March. Colossals are coming back, so you know how Colossal works. Like the old Colossals, but new cards. There's also 2 new mechanics, Herald and Shatter, okay? I will explain Herald a little bit more when we have a Colossal on screen. I think it's way easier to do it. Shatter, when a card has Shatter, and I'll explain it a little bit more when there's also a Shatter card on screen, it's a little bit easier. You know what, actually, we'll wait until we see a Shatter and a Herald card to explain them. But there's 2 new keywords this time, Shatter and Herald. Okay, simple, easy peasy. We can view examples actually here, but I think it's a little easier if we just see a card straight up. We're gonna go class by class, then maybe neutral, take it from there, okay? So, each class is a little bit of a Colossal. Death Knight, starting with Death Knight, we have 9 mana, 3/6, double blood, Colossal +2, Arisen Onyxia. When your hero would lose health on your turn, gain that much max health instead. So if you do something like, I don't know, hear me out, Forgotten Millennium, 8 mana, generate a bunch of undeads. They cost health. You can play Onyxia, and then each single thing you play gains you as much health as they cost for 0 mana. This is a little bit of a late gamer, but I think it is a tremendous, massive swing. Why? It comes with the appendages. So Colossal 2. The Colossals are Onyxia's wings. They're 1 mana, 1/1s. When summoned, get a random 2-cost minion. It costs health this turn. So basically, when you play Onyxia by itself, it's a 9 mana, 3/6 that summons 2 1/1s that give you 2 costs in your hand, random 2 costs, which cost 2 health, but with Onyxia in play, gain you 2 health. So at worst, it's a 9 mana, 3/6, summon 2 1/1s, summon 2 2-drops, gain 4 health. Yes, now the most important thing with Colossals is Herald, okay? And every time I say Herald, people are gonna spam Herald, but I'm gonna explain it right here. Every class, and also some neutrals, they have Herald cards. And I'm sure most of you know already, but I'll do a quick TLDR. Herald cards are just that. They're called Herald cards. How could you play both on the same turn? No, Arisen Onyxia comes with all of it. You just play it on the same turn. Full stop, Oscar. You play the 9 mana, 3/6. It automatically comes with both 1/1s. Those are the appendages of the Colossal. It gives you 2 2-drops, which cost health instead of mana. And when you spend health, you gain health as Onyxia. Yeah? Oh, if you mean with Millennium. So Onyxia can come from Millennium. Because it's an undead. Right, so you can play Millennium, get Onyxia, GG. That's gonna be a fun turn for sure, right? Time Way Wander into turn 6. That's a good one for sure, right? So each of these classes has cards that herald. When a card heralds, it does 2 things. Yes, 1, it summons the Colossal appendage. For some reason, they're calling it a soldier. Yes, you do. It's like leeches, Crimson Shack, like leeches. For some reason, they're calling it a soldier, right? But basically, that's also in Zelkova. Right, so when you play a Herald card, it summons 1 of these appendages. So if you're a Death Knight, it summons an Onyxia's wing, and it upgrades your wings. So you can see each wing says Herald twice to upgrade. So every time you Herald twice, Onyxia's wings get doubled in effects and stats. So Herald once, nothing happens. Herald twice, nothing happens. The 3rd time you Herald, your soldiers will be doubled. Herald 4 times, they're upgraded. The 5th time, they're doubled again. The answer to that is yes. I specifically asked about it. It works like Imbue, where you have this counter going, and it will still work that way. The only difference is the name is which soldier they summon, yes? So, when you Herald twice, Onyxia's wings become 2/2s that give you a random 4 cost that costs health. When you herald 4 times, Onyxia's wings are 4/4s that give you a random 8 cost. Do you understand how it works? I know most of you already know, but if anyone has questions, please ask. So that's how they work. They cap at doubled. That's the most. So if I play 2 Herald cards, then play Onyxia. Onyxia has a 9-mana 3/6 that summons 2 2/2s that give me 2 random 4 costs that cost health. No, it stops there. If I Herald 4 times and then play Onyxia, Onyxia is a 9-mana 3/6 that summons 2 4/4s that give me 2 8 costs that cost health. Yeah, we'll get to the Herald cards, but that's how these work. So when you play a Herald card, you're upgrading it. So you really want 4 Heralds in your deck, because if you Herald 4 times, then play Onyxia. Onyxia is a 9-mana 3/6, summon 2 4/4s, summon 2 8-drops, gain 16 health. Crazy stuff. I think this is a huge late game swing. It depends how many heralds we get, but I'm going to reckon that they're gonna come with legendary buckets, right? Yeah, I just can't bear another Hearthstone run today, Robo. I asked people what they wanted to see and they chose card review, so don't concedes unless they have their own colossal swing. Yeah, if you guys have questions about colossals and stuff like that, let me know, because I'm gonna explain it less the second colossal we see. Yes, but that's how they work. They're always doubled in attack, doubled in health, and doubled in effect twice. So herald twice, doubled, herald another 2 times, doubled again. So 4 heralds, max upgrade. Yes? I think that's just the site actually, where is he? I think this would be the left and this would be the right. So I actually think this is a pretty solid card. I also think that Core sees Mograine come back. So Triple Blood may be making a nice comeback. Alright, this is the second legendary for Death Knight. Not a Colossal, 4 mana, 1 Unholy, Undead, Victor Nefarious, 4 mana, 4/4. Battle Cry, do the wings themselves herald? No, sorry, so herald is an effect, yes? The wings don't herald Onyxia. Herald is something that upgrades your Onyxias. The wings come with Onyxia. Herald cards will summon a wing though. I'll explain it when we get to a Herald card. But for now, Herald card, upgrade the wings. The wings give you doubled attack, health, and effect. Twice, and then twice. Yes? They don't herald themselves. But I'll show, when I get to a Herald card, I'll explain a little better, okay? So Nefarious, craft a custom undead dragon. If you're holding a dragon, reduce the creation's cost by 3. I actually have no idea what this generates. I assume some people have already seen this card. I have no idea. I assume this is going to be a cool one. These craft a custom stuff is always pretty sweet. It picks 1 dragon and then 1 undead and combines them like a zombie beast. Interesting. It's a bit confusing. The Herald, Oscar? This actually looks really fun. Reduce cost by 3? I think without reducing the cost it may be awkward, but with the reduced cost it should be really good. Do you mean the Colossuses are awkward, Oscar? Confusing, I mean. Depends on the pool. I assume the pool is depending on the pool that's in, right? I actually don't know, Eames, but I assume you're just choosing from the existing pool, like zombies. This one looks really cool. I don't know how to judge it. Very meta dependent. Alright, 3 mana, 3/3. Gruesome Nightmare, epic. Battle Cry, give a minion in your hand or battlefield attack equal to this minion's attack. So this is something that's new for this expansion. Hand targeting. So when you play this, you can actually target any minion in the battlefield or your hand. 3 mana, 3/3 mid stats, but the fact that you can hand target makes it just a unique thing. I don't know how good hand targeting will be, but I think it is that next step up in Hearthstone, the 2026 step up, where you don't randomly hit something in hand and you have to try to play all the other cards if you want to hit a specific card. No, bam, you target the exact card you want always. So I think it'll be a little interesting. This is gonna be mid card in my opinion. I think nowadays that's how it's gonna be though, Gigo. Target. I think it's just a 3 mana 3/3 plus 3 attack is okay. Chromatic Broodmother. This is where the attack buffs start to come in though. 4 mana, Frost Unholy though, so you can't play it with Double Blood, which is the Colossus. 4 mana 2/5 Undead Dragon. So you can actually discover this from the guy. What's he called? Victor Nefarious. Rush. Whenever this attacks, refresh mana crystals equal to this minion's attack. So you give it +3. This is a 5/5. 4 mana 5/5 rush. Gain 5 mana. This is one of those cards that's mid to great with synergy. It's one of those cards where you're not going to hate yourself for picking it, in my opinion, but you're going to want to pick many other cards over it. But as soon as you have a little bit of synergy, so you either see that you have synergy or risk synergy ahead, I think it becomes a solid pick. This also works with Imbue. Have some peace. But yeah, a 4 mana 2/5 gain 2 mana is like a 2 mana 2/5 rush, which isn't horrible, but a 2 mana 2/5 rush and a 4 mana 2/5 gain 2 mana are different things. Yeah, because then you have to also have the ability to use that 2 mana. Main drawback are the runes. So far, it seems like things are going to be double blood focused, so this will be the tertiary archetype that most people will not really care about. In my opinion, this will be mid to very swingy with synergy. Still go double unholy. You can probably go double unholy frost, yeah? Go Shadows of Yesterday, screw the whole blood colossus stuff, and lead it. But as you'll see, there's going to be a lot more blood stuff coming out here that go with the Onyx, yeah? Talanji's Last Stand, 5 mana double unholy. Give your minions, I haven't seen this one, give your minions Death Rattle, summon a random 4 cost. Interesting. It's a little expensive for its effect. I assume you want to hit at least 3 minions for this to be good. You hit 3 minions, you've entered what's it called? The current 5 mana summon 3/4/4s. I think at 2 it's mid, at 3 it's good. Which means it makes it a solid card. I think it's easy for a Death Knight to have 2 minions on board. Couple stickiness, couple Death Rattles. Death Knight, especially Unholy. Unholy has a lot of like Reborn, Death Rattle, this kind of thing. I think this is a fine card. It really has to lean into a deck that's probably a little more aggressive though. You know all those decks that go like Mozzie into early 2 cost and they swarm you? This card, insane. Normally, I would say this is about Bygone Echoes territory, which is good, but conditionality is a thing. Also, the 4-cost pool matters a lot, right? Whether that changes or not. If the 4-cost pool goes to crap, you're gonna need like 4 minions to make this good, at which point that's a lot more difficult. Chowdown, 8 mana double unholy, summon 5/5/4 undead drakes, spend 8 corpses to give them rush. That's alright. I wouldn't go calling this batshit insane. Really? I mean, without 8 corpses, I think it's outdated. With the corpses, now you've got yourself a board swing. Yeah, I mean, so let's talk elemental inspiration. Without corpses, you never play it. Probably Tuesday, Porechka. But yes, so corpse dependability becomes a thing. But if you have this early swarm kind of build, right? This early swarm kind of build, I would almost argue that this has more effect on ending the game before this even matters. Same thing. Oh, Bygone into shadows, and now you can chow down. You can chow down, or you can end the game, right? Like, sure, the game might be over. Or you might not have the board space. I think it's a good card, don't get me wrong, but I think it needs the corpse spend to actually be good. Without the corpse spend, it's still a great card. By the way, it's still a great card. This is not me saying it's a crap card. I think it's still a great card, but I don't think it's OP without the corpse spend. So you basically need to... I think the best thing about this is that it does a lot for 1 card. This is not about how much it does for the mana or the corpse spend. It's about how much it does for 1 card. So you know when you could have 4 cards left in hand, 2 cards left in hand. Well, typically they don't do this much. How would you compare to Trials by Fire? Do you think this is better without the corpse effect than Bygone without the corpse effect? I think it's in the same territory in that this is better, but worse because it's later. I think this is great because of the capability of a swing. That's the best thing. 2 things. 1, how much it does for 1 card, and 2, how much it does to bring you back in the game. So, value per card. Like, have you ever been in that situation where your deck needs draw or refill and you go, man, I need a Forgotten Millennium. I need something. I need a card that does a lot. This one. Yes. I agree, Demo. I agree. But Forgotten Millennium has the deck it works in, right? The positionality, the conditionality. With corpses, it becomes a huge swing. I think this is a good card. I think it would be a stretch to call it broken, personally. It's going to be the card that is going to be called broken, though. Why? Because every time you see it, it's broken. The issue is it's one of those cards that most people will not call bad/impacted the game when you died on 6 with 2 of it in hand. Yeah? So this is the card that everyone's gonna call broken and will say, holy crap, I told you it's broken, ignoring every time it was a dead draw because the game ended earlier or without needing it. And that's why I think it goes from very strong to quite strong because of that impact. Thanks for the watch streak, Zelda. I like it though. Interesting. Feel like they're pushing some high mana cards. Black Experiment, 2 mana, 1 Frost. Undead Dragon, so it goes in Victor Nefarious. Death Rattle get a 2-cost spell that deals this minion's attack damage. Interesting. Little hand buff synergy, so synergy with Imbue. Synergy with that 3 mana 3/3 that we saw. I think the synergy is more tangential, like, oh, if you happen to have it, you have it, right? It's not something that you should go, oh my god, I'm gonna build around it. Just an okay 2, that's it. Just a fine draft. It's one of those where you need some curve filler, you draft it. Easy peasy. This is not gonna make Imbue playable. None of that crap. This is not a card you should build hand buff around. You just draft it when you need a 2. If you have synergy for Imbue, if you have synergy for hand buff, whatever, it's a plus. That's how I see it. Command Claw, 1 Unholy, 2 mana 2/2. After your hero attacks, give a random friendly minion +2 attack. It's just fine. Again, 9/2 special. Nothing too horrible. But I've already seen these cards, for example, Heather, because I revealed them for starters. I just, it's too early to end my stream and I can't bear to play more Hearthstone this week, dude. 50 hours of absolute horrendousness. I just can't bear. Sword Weapon. This reminds me of Blazeooka, as I said in the review. It's just okay. Nothing horrible, nothing premium either though. Just okay. You start to put in things like, I don't know, you put it into Runes of Darkness, 2 mana 3/3 weapon. Next one, Experimental Animation. Now we get to the Herald mechanics. 6 mana 2 blood, so the 2 blood aligning with Onyxia. Herald Onyxia, and I will explain again. Deal 4 to all enemy minions. So we're talking like Flame Strike basically for 6 mana with Herald. So what is Herald? So when you Herald, you upgrade Onyxia's wings. Yes, so let's go back again here. So Onyxia, 9 mana 3/6, summons a wing with all of the effects. When you Herald twice, these wings are 2 2s that give you a 4 cost, so double attack, double health, double effect. When you herald 4 times, these are 4 4s, so doubled again, that give you an 8 cost. Yes, so heralding twice and heralding 4 times are upgrading your main Colossus. However, over and above, yes, Zelda, over and above, Herald summons the Colossus appendage. Over and above. Now, they decided to call it Soldier for some confusing and flavor reason, but that's what it does. So, if this is your first Herald card, it's a 6 mana, 4 AoE, summon a 1/1 that gives you a random 2 cost. If this is your second Herald, it will be a 6 mana, 4 AoE, that gives you a 1/1 that gives you a random 2 drop that then upgrades your main Onyxia's wings. The third time you herald, let's say this is the third time you're heralding in a game, it would be a 6 mana 4 AoE summon a 2/2 that gives you a random 4 drop that also upgrades Onyxia. The fourth time is the same thing, and the fifth time you herald, this would be a 6 mana, 4 AoE, summon a 4/4 that gives you a random 8 drop. Do you understand? So the Herald happens after the soldier is summoned is why. I see it, by the way, Zelda, but it's also the blade, like Scyther. The appendage is summoned, then the upgrade happens. No, that's Herald. So Herald not only upgrades, but summons an appendage. Okay, that's Herald. So Herald has twofold effects. That's why I didn't explain it earlier. Herald upgrades and summons one of the Colossus appendages. Yes? At however much upgrade it is. So the spell effect and the body, then the upgrade. The spell effect and the body, then the upgrade, right? It's called a soldier, but truthfully, it's just the freaking appendage from the Colossus, okay, guys? Everything the body comes with, guys. If you generate this with a different Colossus in deck, it would be Herald whatever. Only certain cards say summon a soldier. No, Herald is summon a soldier. Will the appendage summon with no Colossus in the deck? It should, yes. I know, Demon Shire, that's maybe fair, but I think it adds unnecessary confusion, personally, to say summon a soldier, because people think a soldier is a separate thing. So heralding does two things. First, it summons the current appendage of your Colossus. Second, it upgrades the next appendages of the Colossus. You do have some peace. Dreads, Hearthstone was horrible today. What if you have several Colossi? Now that is where it becomes interesting. I think your class 1 counts, and otherwise I don't know. Happy weekend, by the way, Dreads. Right, so that's how Herald works. All Herald cards do the same thing, except obviously for their respective class. And then, last but not least, another Herald card. This is a 4 mana, double blood as well, 2/5 lifesteal, Battlecry Herald Onyxia. Yeah, that's for sure, Giga. So this is, at minimum, it's a 4 mana, 2/5 lifesteal, summon a 1/1 that gives you a random 2-cost that costs health. But it can also be a 4 mana, 2/5 lifesteal, summon a 4/4 that gives you a random 8-cost that costs health. While wording it, Herald your Colossal. I actually asked them that. I don't know. I actually don't know, Lehman. One appendage, yes. Herald summons an appendage. One. They call it a soldier, but it's identical to the appendage. Right? So, as a 4 mana 2/5 lifesteal, it's mid, but as a 4 mana 2/5 summon a 1/1 give you a 2-drop that can only get better. I wonder, can he? An 8 mana card, Psycho. 4/4 that gives you an 8 mana card. Not for free, the 8 mana card costs health, yes? No, Canny's asking which soldier will it summon, Giga. Right, so if I go back before I move to the other class, this is a 1/1 that gives you a 2-cost that costs health. Exactly, Oscar, yes. So it becomes a 2/2 that gives you a 4, and a 4/4 that gives you an 8, yeah? Remember that when you play it, you're not upgrading your future heralds, you're also upgrading your main Colossus play. Yeah, so that's Death Knight. And the herald mechanic. So I don't know which soldier gets summoned in different cases, but they herald all of them. So for example, Blue, if you herald Onyxia 4 times and then you somehow randomly generate a different Colossal, that Colossal will also be heralded 4 times already. What I don't know is how it works with what soldiers are summoned, but the herald is shared. For all intents and purposes, logically speaking, this should say herald your Colossal. Truthfully, I think that it says Herald Onyxia because of the soldier it summons, to answer Canny. Right, so you are upgrading all of them, but you're always summoning an Onyxia soldier, I think is the reason it says Onyxia. But remember, we do have legendary buckets nowadays, Arutha. So that's something. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Onyxia comes with 3 Herald cards in the bucket. You know, like, I don't know, one of the AoE and 2 Obsessive Technicians. I wouldn't be surprised, right? And then you just drop 1 more, you have all 4 upgrades. All 2 upgrades, all 4 cards. Cool package for Death Knight. I think there's a double blood that goes with the Colossus, maybe even with Mograine, which is coming back. So there's the whole double blood package. It has AoE, it has lifesteal, it has the Colossus at the top end. There's still a double Unholy package, which comes with Victor Nefarious, Shadows of Yesterday, I assume. Maybe you can go Rainbow with this, since a lot of the blood cards seem to be double blood. If you go double Unholy, you might not care about blood, depending whether we have Leech cards, etc. But it seems like there's a lot of One Frost stuff, right? So double Unholy, you get this one, you get Chowdown, you get Blackwing Experiment, you get the weapon, right? And then you avoid all the double blood. So maybe you're like going double blood, One Frost, or maybe double Unholy, One Frost kind of thing. Feels weird with drafting Herald cards if you got no Colossal. Do you think you'd hate drafting this? Lesker, 6 mana 4 AoE, summon a 1/1 that gives you a random 2-drop. You have to take them as and when, right, Lesker? Probably feels less good if you're not upgrading your legendary. Something to consider though. Alright, let's go to Demon Hunter. So the same mechanic, guys. We're not going to re-explain it too much. Colossal for Demon Hunter, yes. 8 mana, 8/8 Ajara Ocean Lord. Colossal +2. Your hero has Wind Fury. This is also a Naga, yes. The appendages are 2/1s that give your hero +1 attack this turn. Yes, they are. Colossals are, Rocky. So, at minimum, this is an 8 mana, 8/8, summon 2 2/1s, gain 2 attack, and Wind Fury, your hero. Yeah, so that's at minimum. at minimum, you have 2 attack with your face, 2 2-1s, and then 8-8. You herald twice, these become 4 2s with 2 attack. You herald 4 times, these become 8 4s with 4 attack. So at 4 herald, this is an 8 mana 8-8 that summons 2 8-4s that gives your hero 8 attack and Wind Fury. Yes, it is 16 face damage. And 2 8-4s and an 8-8. Strong. Crazy. This is a finisher for me. Crazy finisher. Absolute crazy finisher. Build Herald, chip away your opponent, go, my opponent's at 20, what do I do? Control the board? Nope. Count how much damage they have. Can they kill me, or do I randomly throw 4 at their face? Throw 4 at that face, bam, 16 from hand. Yeah, you can equip a weapon on turn 7. There's also cards like Chronica, remember? Give you 3 attack for the next 3 turns. I don't even know, man. Yeah, exactly. And we'll see the Herald cards as well now, remember, Herald synergizes, okay? Next one, we have a legendary here. Nespira Enthralled. Location legendary. Okay. 3 mana, 5 durability. Deal 1 damage. Like a ping? I haven't seen this, by the way. After you cast a fell spell, reopen. Death Rattle, summon Nespira Unshackled. Okay, Nespira Unshackled is this. It summons it, so it's in play. 6 mana, 6/6 beast. After you cast a fell spell, get a random Naga, it costs 1. Seems pretty crap in general. I'm gonna say it depends on the pool of Nagas and fell spells. It takes really long. Without any fell spells, this takes what, 10 turns? 8 turns, right? 8 turns to activate without any fell spells. 9 turns, I don't know. 8 to 10 turns. At which point, you still need fell spells in order to make the Unshackled card work. And for 3 mana, you're pinging, and then pinging again 2 turns later, which still sucks, because a ping and a dormant 2 ping for 3 mana sucks. This will be bad until you ping 3 times, maybe even 4 times. So really bad. Depends on fell spells, right? Do we have a bunch of cheap fell spells in with lifesteal? What Nagas do we have? I mean, will this be the only Naga in the pool? And therefore, if you have a few fell spells, bam, bam, double Colossus. I don't know. So it's very dependent on that. I would say in general it's bad. You have to remember as well that you need the fell spells for the location and then more fell spells for the legendary. I feel like some people will go, dude, I have like 3 fell spells. They use it for the location. They summon the 6/6 and now they have no fell spells. I would say this is very meta dependent, but it goes from bad to mid with high roll potential in the right meta. In Arena, in Standard, you obviously can build a full synergy. Yeah, for the consistency, right? 10 means you're drawing 5 relatively often. 4 here, 1 here, you can draw 6, 7. Yeah. Alright, next. Fell Infusion, so fell spells, Colossus synergy. So there is some things in common, right? 2 mana, Herald Ajara. So remember, Herald summons the appendage. Your hero has lifesteal to start. So 2 mana, your hero has lifesteal, pretty crap. But remember that it comes with the appendage. So at minimum, this is a 2 mana 2/1, give your hero 1 attack and lifesteal at minimum. So it's already a hero power, a 2/1 and 1 health, and it upgrades your Colossus, which already makes it way better when you think about it that way. You can also combine it with the Colossus and heal 16 or something like that, right? It's also a fell spell, so it works with the other thing. But also, if you don't care about Nespira, you can also discover this card from something like Hive Map, which means you can herald more using cards like Hive Map. Yes, Herald summons a Colossus appendage. It's called a soldier, but for all intents and purposes, it's a Colossus appendage. I think this is more about heralding, but say you herald twice, so you get an upgraded one. This is already a 2 mana 4 to give your hero +2 attack and lifesteal. So it's already not bad. Yeah, but I think it's more about heralding, but it quickly becomes applicable. Alright, Malevolent Mutant, 3 mana 3/4 Naga, so there will always be at least one other Naga in the Nespira expansion, which isn't the Colossus. Battlecry, choose a fell spell in your hand, get a copy of it. So you can copy the Herald. You choose, right? You choose. hand targeting. You can copy the Herald, you can copy value. I would say this card is like a modern day version of Fellscale Evoker. Solid with upside, nothing too premium, just alright. You know, like a modern day version of Fellscale Evoker. You know, people still drop Fellscale Evoker. You know which one I'm talking about? The 3-mana 3/4 lifesteal gains rush if you play the Fel spell. No. So hand targeting is a new ability, Canny. It works like when you used to target on board, Canny. You get to target your hand. Now, I haven't seen it proper, but I think you just get to... I haven't seen how the animation works, but you get to target. No. You aim it, Canny. You choose. There's no discover. No, Kenny. It's just you target, right? Like imagine this said buff a minion on board. You just insane technology. Yeah, so now there's hand targeting. There are multiple cards with hand targeting in this expansion. Hand targeting is a new tech. So yes, there's hand targeting now. It's gonna stir up the spaghetti bowl. That I can imagine. Oh my god, I can't target this card in hand. It's behind the border of my diamond portrait. Yo, the pet, stop moving, pet. It's behind the leftmost card in my 10-card hand. So there are flavor-wise, there are two types of classes. There's the evil Deathwing classes, which have Herald, and there's the light, good Shatter classes. Each class gets a Colossus, but not each class gets the Herald effect. Oh, yeah. What's his name? Kit? By copying his own hero after equipping a third hero power. Alright, next one. Broxigar's Last Stand. 2 mana, deal 1 damage to all minions, draw a card for each that died. This feels like a modern day equivalent of that Honorable Kill card. There used to be an Honorable Kill 2 mana, 1 AoE Honorable Kill, get +1 attack. This is pretty solid. I think this is going to be pretty good. So let's say Whirlwind is like 1 mana effect, maybe 0.8 mana effect, and 1 mana draw. You draw 2, this is a good card, basically is what we're saying. Remember, it kills your own minions you draw as well, yes? I would say draw 2, this becomes an insane card. So I think it's a very good card. Draw 1, it's fine. Draw 2, it's crazy. Draw more, it's like insane, obviously. I think this is good. Flash Flood. 5 mana Fel spell. Deal 5 damage to your opponent's left and rightmost minions. Outcast, do it again. So think Crushing Walls 2026, yeah? 5 and 5. If you outcast Flash Flood, 5 and 5. And yes, this can deal 20 to 1 minion. Yes, it can deal 5 and 5 and 10 to 1 minion. Yes, it can deal 5 and 15 to 1 minion, etc, etc. I think the idea of this was killing Colossals, right? Think about it. 2 appendages and a big body. You played this versus a Jar Ocean Lord, Max Herald, 8/4, 8/4, and 8/8, 2 5/5s, 10 damage to the Colossus. Some people were telling me that. I prefer this to Diabolus Rex. I have tried to draft Diabolus Rex. It is always inactive. The fact that Diabolus has to be Kindred absolutely sucks. I'm not saying this card is amazing, but Diabolus Rex is only good discovered from a demon, in my opinion. Like Jump Scare or some crap. It's just it's inactive too much. Will it kill trigger death rattles? I would imagine between the initial cast and the outcast, yes. I agree, Eps. It's just hard to get over 30 years of saying it that way. Etc. Remember, Maltese. And how I learned. It's like a juice star power. That's an interesting way of looking at it. Positionality and locationing becomes an important thing, right? Molda King. Yeah, that was very common all over, sure. It's just okay. I personally think it's better than Diabolus Rex. Not in effect, but in ability to cast it more often. Just fine. Ravenous Felfisher, 6 mana 5/5 Naga. So yet another Naga in the pool for Nespira, which means, you know, there's never going to be just one Naga. 6 mana 5/5 costs 1 less for each spell you've cast each game. This has no rush, no taunt, no nothing. So basically, this needs to be at 3 mana to be good. But at 3 mana, you've already cast 3 fel spells, which means it has to be at least turn 4. A 3 mana 5/5 is good on 3. On turn 4, it's already worse. By turn 5, it's not that good. You want it then to be probably a 2 mana 5/5 or less. This card's not very good, I would say. In Arena, yes. Eps. Well, there's gonna be 2 per, right, Eps? From my understanding, 2 Herald per, right? So the class themselves, remember, you can draft 2 copies, yeah? whatever. In Constructed, you can put 2 copies in your deck. So for example, for Death Knight, we saw the AoE and the 2 life, 2/5 lifesteal. You can draft 2 of each. I say draft because I'm such an arena main. You can put 2 of each in your deck. That's already 4, which is max upgrade. Yeah, I would say this card needs to be 2 mana or less to be good, because at 5 mana it's a bad card, at 6 mana it's horrible, at 4 mana it's bad, at 3 mana is where it starts to get good. But in order for it to be a good 3 mana card, you need to play it on like turn 3 or turn 4. No, the upgrades are capped at 4. Remember though, each herald after that still summons the max soldier, yes? So you can have more heralds. The stinger is no. TOT rotates? Maybe. Yeah, in order for it to be a 3 mana 5/5, we have to cast 3 fell spells, which is very hard to do by turn 3-4. And the 3 mana 5/5 on turn 6, it's already getting worse. At that point, it probably needs to be the 2 mana 5/5 or less, which makes this difficult to be good. Surely? I don't know, they put effort into them, Giga. I don't know. Armored Bloodletter, 3 mana. Here's the other Herald card. 3 mana, 3/1, Rush, Battlecry Herald Ashara. Naga, also a Naga, by the way. So generating Nagas also generates Herald cards. Remember, at minimum, this is a 3 mana, 3/1 Rush. Summon a 2/1, give your hero 1 attack. Yeah? So a 2 mana 3/1 Rush is fine, right? Redgill Razor draftable, plus the hero power, which costs 1 mana, right? And the 2/1, which is 1 mana worth. So this is like 1.5 mana. For 1.5 mana, 3/1 Rush is fine, in my opinion. You have the 1 mana hero power, you have the 1 mana 2/1, and you have this one, right? You obviously can't play it early, which is why I'm valuing it at about 1.5 mana. That, however, is the worst it can be. So the worst it can be is fine. So you would draft it. Why? It upgrades your Colossal, and it gets better and better and better. After you upgrade twice, this would be a 3 mana 3/1 Rush, give your hero 2 attack, summon a 4/2. And at that point, it's busted. And it gets better. I think the Herald are good because people forget. I forgot in the reveal as well that they summon the soldier. You have to put it in your head that this summons the soldier at the stats it's at. And that is such a difference between 3 mana 3/1 Rush and 3 mana 3/1 Rush, summon a 2/1 hero power. Whatever, get 1 attack, which is equivalent to hero power, right? So the hero will be in the bucket. Big presumption, yeah. I mean, I presume, I should say. Sorry, a big presumption sounds like I'm being rude. I presume. I don't know, but makes sense, right? It would make sense to be so. All right, 9 mana, 9/6 Beast. Dread Leviathan, Taunt, Battle Cry, choose an enemy minion to steal 3 health from 3 times. So this works like, whatchamacallit? Night Elf Huntress. You get to choose 3 separate targets to steal 3 health from, which it gains. So this, it was confirmed in my reveal. It can be the same one, sorry, it can be the same one. And Death Rattle resolves in the middle. So this could be a 9 mana, 9/15. This could be a 9 mana, 9/15 taunt, kill a 9/9. It could be a 9 mana, 9/15 taunt, kill 3 3/3s. It could be a 9 mana, 9/15 taunt, kill 2 3/3s. And Death Rattle summon a 3/3, kill that as well. Herald will be in the Colossal buckets. Interesting. Thank you, Rocky. Thank you, sorry. However, this could be a 9 mana, 9/12, kill 3 2/2s. Or the same minion, yes. Yes, Torius. I think it's a little slow, but it could be an interesting swing being a taunt. I think it's a little slow. Remember, by turn 9, people are probably playing their freaking upgraded Colossals, not this, you know? Alright, Sigil of the Seas. 1 mana Sigil. Remember, Sigil's a fell spell as well. This is a fell spell as well. At the start of your next turn, summon a 3/3 Naga with taunt. 1 mana 3/3 taunt sounds good to me. That's what I said in the review. 1 mana 3/3 taunt sounds good to me. Enough said. In Arena, it's pretty solid. Dormant? Yeah, Dormant still the... Oh, because it doesn't work that turn, you mean? Still sounds good to me, especially early game. This freaking contests 1-drops and most 2-drops. Oh, that's Demon Hunter. Looks interesting, but the Naga Fell spell package seems very too synergistic for Arena. I think it's more about usual tempo and the Colossal package for a finisher. That's what I would say. I think Demon Hunter will have the Colossal package being a great finisher. Otherwise, most people would just play normal tempo. though. These will just be caveats for when you randomly discover fell spells and stuff. The whole Naga package and stuff feels moot in Arena. Obviously someone will pull it off, but yeah, it's not gonna be the norm. Now we get to Druid. Alright, Druid, 8 mana, 4/12 dragon, Marithra of the Dream. You know, this looks like it's gonna be a beautiful signature if they make a signature for it. Battlecry, fill your hand with random dragons. If you spent 25 mana while holding this, so it has to be in your hand, they cost 1, 25 left. So, how many turns does it take to do 25? 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 is 10, 5 is 15, 6 is 21, 7 is 28. So basically hold it in your open air, play it on curve. Can't float more than 3 mana though, right? Because you have to spend it. I think this card is okay. It gives you dragon synergies if they exist, like Demo is saying. You can at worst play it as an 8 mana 4/12 fill your hand with dragons, but if you hold it and spend the mana, that's a game-winning turn, right? So I think this is kind of that situation where you probably play it for the dragons in Arena. You probably have decks where you try to hold it as early as you can. You might be in situations where, I don't know, you have 10 left. Do you have to play it for the value, or do you risk waiting the 10 mana? Those are the decisions. I think when they cost 1, this is insane. Like game-winning. Game-winning. Well, otherwise, I don't think it's horrible. Think Forgotten Millennium-esque. Yeah, but not game-winning. Obviously, again, Dragon Pool dependent, guys. Dragon Pool dependent. This is the signature. Very Spyro the Dragon vibes. I like this card. I like this card. I wouldn't say it's necessarily OP. It's one of those cards that goes from probably slightly below good to extremely good. If there's a bunch of dragon synergy though, probably gets improves a lot. Colossus. So this is the Druid Colossus. Wicker Fang. 6 mana 0/5. If the stream isn't doing as well in the last month, might as well chill a little with some of you guys. 6 mana 0/5 Colossal +4. After one of Wicker Fang's legs gains stats, this gains them 2. So Wicker Fang's legs are 1 mana. I'm not gonna stay zooming out because it's a nice size. 1 mana 0/2s that say at the end of your turn gain +1/+1. So you play it, it's a 0/5 and 4 0/2s. Yes. And at the end of the turn, they all become 1/3s and it becomes a 4/9. Yes. So it's a 6 mana 4/9, summon 4 1/3s. If you don't kill it, bam, 4 2/4s and it's an 8/13. If you kill 2 of them, now you have 2 2/4s and it becomes a 6/11. Yeah, this is pretty insane because on 6, killing a 4/9 is difficult. Killing 4 1/3s is not easy. 4 rushes from Shadows of Yesterday. No, because Druid is not a Herald class lead, man. No worries, lead man. Not all classes are Herald classes. And additionally, if you can't kill them, it will snowball. And here's the fun fact as well. Yes, if you buff them, it will buff everything. So let's say 0 mana cultivation. What does that do? The Wicker Fang's legs become from 1/3s, they go up to 3/5s. So 4 3/5s, and Wicker Fang gets +12. No, +14. So it's a 14/19. A cultivated Wicker Fang is a 14/19. Is that correct? I think so. Yeah. Plus the 4/9 initially, right, Caddy? I think this is an insane card, though. I think this is an insane card. Broodwatcher, more dragons. 4 mana, 4/5 dragon. So very much, we're talking, what? There's 4 mana, 4/5 dragons. Proto Drake and, what else? The one that shuffles 2 imaginary taunts. Battlecry, get 2 3/3 whelps with taunt in your hand, I presume. If you spent 8 mana while holding this, summon them. Yes, so in your hand, and then they would be on board, right? 8 mana, so 1, 2, and 3. 3, 4, 5, 6. You can't play this on 4, technically. I mean, you can, Demo, but ramp, coin, yada yada. But yes, crazy card. Again, it's one of... I feel like if I'm comparing this to the Legendary, I feel like we're in the realm of cards that are slightly bad into insanely good with synergy, which I kind of like. I do think that spending 8 mana is something freaking easy to pull off, especially if this is already activating other dragon synergy is pretty solid. I would say pretty solid. Keep this in your opener, play it on 5, crazy good. Nest Matron is crazy as well. Valvenia, oh my god. Double Nest Matron on 4 into Brood Watcher. Oh, I know what my experience is going to be. Remember when I faced like quad Nest Matron on 4 once? Into active Spinetail. Nest Matron is a 4 mana 3/5. If you're holding a dragon, refresh 4 mana crystals. So it still costs 4, but technically it costs 0. You remember, yeah. So this is a dragon itself. So there you go. Again, this is logically not similar in effect, but similar in ideology. The whole a little worse, but gets really good if you spend the mana. I will say, I think Marithra, or whatever the hell it was called, the dragon, is better played without the effect than this. This is a Yeti. It's pretty bad without the effect nowadays. But the effect is way easier to pull off. So, yeah. Alright, Azura's Triumph. 1 mana, arcane spell. Shuffle 5 random minions into your deck that cost 8 or more, double their stats. Chat. They don't even cost less or nothing. Draft it or no balls. Draft it or no balls. Draft it or no balls. No, guys, I'm not gonna draft it. Guys, I can't. Whoops. Is this good? No, I don't think so. First of all, it clogs up your deck with expensive minions. Secondly, they cost 8. Still. Thirdly, you have no idea whether they're going to be good or not. They are doubled in stats. Doesn't matter. It's an 8 mana 16/16 that does nothing. Maybe Blazer. People are telling me to, but I'm not rating the cards. We're just talking about it, you know? No, so they have to be 8 cost or more. The cards have to be 8 cost or more. But yeah, I mean, I don't think it's going to be a good card. Because you also have to remember, you have to spend a card on the mana to shuffle them. Alright, next one, Fellwood Treant. A 2 mana 2/2. Battlecry, gain a temporary mana crystal. Temporary mana crystal is coin, basically, right? So this is a 2 mana 2/2 cost coin. If you spend 4 mana while holding this, same effect, it's permanent. So this is a 2 mana 2/2 cost coin. If you spend 4 mana while holding this, cast Flash Forward without the negative effect. This card is insane. At worst, it is roughly a 1 mana 2/2. 4 mana spend is easy, dude. Easy. You can play this on 3 with a 2-drop. Wild, dude. This is better than Wild Growth because the mana crystal is full. Yes? You get the mana back from casting this. I can see that, Canny, as well, but 4 is quite easy, yeah? 4? Quite easy. Right, so it's a full mana crystal. You can... On turn 6, you can play a 4-cost minion, this one, and a 1-cost minion. So you would have 11 mana every turn after turn 10. No, you still cap out at 10. It doesn't increase your max mana, I think. I don't see it doing so. I would say no, Enzion. It's like Flash Forward. I think this is a good card. This could also allow you to activate the 4 mana dragon on 4, yeah. This one's crazy. This card's crazy. This is the kind of card that people, I think, will underrate. I think this card's very good. Wildwood Circle, and here comes Shatter. So have you noticed Druid does not have Herald cards? Because it is not a Herald class, it is a Shatter class, and here comes the Druid Shatter. So I didn't explain how Shatter works, and I will explain now. So a Shatter card, when it's added to your hand, whether you discover it or draw it or whatever you want, it splits into 2 separate halves, 1 on each side of your hand. Think the Stars of Divination from Zortoth, if you guys remember. Yes, so 3 mana Wildwood Circle, it's a nature spell. Shatter, summon 2/2 treants, so that would be 1 half. Give your minions Death Rattle, summon a 2/2 treant, that would be another half. So you can see, I'm not going to say zoom in out, but you can see the Wildwood Circle over there. It says Shattered, summon 2/2 treants over here. I can stay zooming and zooming out, but yeah. So this is a half of it, so you'll get some 2/2 treants, which is landscaping. I think it's a bad card nowadays, still playable, especially if you have treant synergy. If you have treant synergy, this is more than playable, but this is worse than aerosolizer nowadays, yeah? This is landscaping. Landscaping is like a 5-6 year old card, so it's not very good. On the other hand, you have give your minions Death Rattle, summon a 2/2 treant. That's already a card that exists. What's it called? There's a card, Soul of the Forest, thank you. Soul of the Forest, which is like a 787,000 billion year old card. Playable if you have treant synergy. Most importantly, if you play every card in between them, they will recombine into the main card, which is like a slightly amped up aerosolizer. Truthfully, the best thing about it is that it introduces a nutrient art. Card's pretty arse. Nothing much to it. Probably more than draftable if you have Treant synergy, yes. Especially with the new 4 mana summon 2/2 Treants. Get +1/+1 for every Treant that died. Or with cultivation. That kind of thing. More than draftable, because you could spread a board and just play the Death Rattle, not care about Wildwood Circle until you're basically about to play cultivation. That kind of thing. Outside of that, lacking, I would say. Lacking. Cool Treant card though, right? I will say though, this card right here, the summon 2/2 Treants, I wonder who the hell's jorking to the right of that artwork, because those Treants are shocked. Oof. Alright, Moss Binding, 2 mana, nature spell, summon 2 1/2 golems, spend all your mana to give them +1/+1 for each mana spent. So summon 2 1/2s with taunt, and summon 2 1/2s with lifesteal, where a card's in 1927. So summon 2 1/2s without lifesteal or taunt, horrible. However, if you spend 3 mana, you get 2 2/3s. 1 mana for 2/3 is good. 1.5 mana for 2/3s is playable, not very good. 4 mana, 2 3/4s. 2 mana 3/4. So they are 2 mana 3/4s, but they're also 2 mana 2 turns delayed. This is probably like a better later game card. The idea of it being closer to what I called about that Death Knight card, the 8 mana card that summons like 5 5/4s. I'm not saying this is as good as that 8 mana summon 5 5/4s, but logically it's about doing a lot for one card. Sometimes people don't think about that, but card advantage is a thing in Hearthstone. How many cards you have and how much each card can do is a thing, and this will probably be one of those cards. I wouldn't call this card great though. The fact that you can't choose to do less, it sucks early game, very dead card. It's a late game, this is my turn, right? 6 7, I'm sorry I said that, but that kind of era, it's probably fine. But I think as a card, it has too many turns where it's pretty bad. Compared to Command and Epsilon 5, doesn't have Rush. I don't know. I mean, it's fine. In the right spot, it's fine. I think it's more about how much it does for one card and how good it is overall. It's versatile for sure. I think it's okay. You wouldn't hate drafting this. I wouldn't be like ecstatic either. Fire's Gift. 2 mana nature spell. Give a friendly minion +1/+1 for each minion you control. Probably starts to be good at about 3/3 or 4/4 here. Yes, we've had 1 mana +3/+3s. This counts the minion itself, so basically you need 2 other minions. Not the best, not the worst. Probably better with synergy. Token decks, Treant Swarm decks, Colossal decks becomes much better for sure. This becomes also much better discovered, yes, because you choose when to pick it. It's one of those cards. Iridescent Flitterwing, 5 mana 4/5 dragon elusive. So we've had a 4 mana 5/4 elusive before. There's a 5 mana 4/5 elusive. At the end of your turn, give your other minions +1/+1 in the lead up turn to the Colossal. So this card probably needs to buff 2 minions to be very good, I would say. The elusive makes it so annoying. Again, I wouldn't drop this into an OP territory, but this is a strong into insanely good snowball card territory. Yeah, more than 2 buffs? Crazy. Plus Dragon Tag. I would drop this for sure, yeah. It's one of those cards you have to think a little bit though. It's not a press green card, full stop, yes. But otherwise I think pretty solid. Crystal Spine Cub. 1 mana 1/2 beast. Whenever you spend your last mana crystal, gain +1/+1. Ooh, like a finally good version of that 2 mana 2/2 where you had to float all your mana for it to get buffed. Does this count itself? Like played on turn 1, is it a 2/3? No. So but you can play Cub, Coin Cub, and you'd have a 2/3 and a 1/2. This card is, I think, solid early game piece. You know, in Arena, when you drop those 1 costs for curve because you kind of want them or need them, Slither, Spine, Naga, and those kind of things. Hey, it's solid. It's kind of bad itself, but if you follow up with a 2-drop, it's a 1 mana 2/3, right? It's a solid 1-drop. I think that's where I would put it. Nothing insane, it sucks in the late game, but that's where the 1 mana 1/3 that gains 1 attack when you cast a spell and those kind of cards fall. I would put it in that territory. Slither Spear, that's the card I'm trying to call. The Slither Spear, that kind of card. That kind of card. This becomes a 2/3 when you can't play a 2-drop instead of playing a spell. That kind of card. So it's one of those where it's one of those good 1-drops that you're looking to draft. Understanding that what it is a good 1-drop trying to help your curve and not a you drop this on 9 and you win the game. Yeah. Mana Worm. Yeah, those kind of things, etc. Hunter, there you go, Yos. We're moving on to Hunter. Hunter Legendary. I'm going to try speed up just a tiny bit here, so maybe we can get through as much as we can. 7 mana, this is the Legendary. 7 mana, I think Hunter is also Dragon. Synergy kind of stuff. 7 mana, 6/6. Battle Cry, your dragons have rushed this game, so this is a perma effect. While in your hand, play a dragon to become a 12/12. So 7 mana, 6/6, your dragons have rush. Probably mid at best. 7 mana, 12/12, your dragons has rush. I mean, it's probably if you are playing Abyssian, you probably have dragons to make use of the effect. I.e., this is a 7 mana, 12/12. Very, very good. So I think this card is very, very good. Moving on to Magma. This is the Colossal for the Hunter. 7 mana, 2/12 Mech Beast, Colossal plus 99, chat. 99! Summon any leftover appendages when there is room. So the appendages are 1 mana 2/1s, Mech Beasts. Death Rattle, give a random friendly minion +2 attack. There used to be a demon in Warlock. It was a 1 mana 2/1. Give a Death Rattle, give a random friendly minion this minion's attack. This is kind of like a snowball body where they have to kill the Magma or you have infinite 2/1s. I think this card will be a little overrated because it board locks you forever. It's that kind of thing where you kill the 2/1 hoping to buff the main body, but it buffs another 2/1. Then you trade with the 4/1 hoping it buffs the Magma, but it buffs another 2/1. You trade with the 4/1. It doesn't buff the Magma. Now it buffs the Magma's body that you've summoned that turn, so that can't attack, and Magma deals 2. I think this card is fine. It is a must kill. 7 makes the touch slow, but they do have to kill it because you can decide to just go face. It's 14 power, pretty much a 2-turn lethal. I mean, most cards in modern Hearthstone are 2-turn lethals if you don't kill them, and this is a 2/12, yes? I mean, compared to the Colossal we just saw from Druid, this card is not in the same realm, dude. It's not bad. It's a strong Colossal, but you have to compare it to the cards that are being shown now. Yes. If Magma dies, it stops summoning replacements, but the bodies that were summoned remain there. I would assume it has a start and an end and 90 middles Ionian. 97. And the thing about this is, once you play it, you can't play any minions. Full stop. You just can't. You can't kill off enough Magma's bodies, yeah? You kill it off, your board's full. Your board's perma full. Right, you can't even kill off another minion trying, because sometimes people go 5 head, let me try to summon 5 minions, then kill off a minion, then play a minion. No, it will immediately summon a Magma's body. Of course, they buff each other. But what do you do on turn 8? Float 8? Again, your opponent just needs to kill a 2/12. I think this is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. But I think it has caveats, it has drawbacks, and it's a 2/12. I think for it to be great, the bodies need to hit the Magma body. The Magma. If the Magma's bodies hit each other, I don't think it's as good. Especially if they hit the newly summoned ones. You could just go face. I agree. They could also just go face though. And they could also just kill a 2/12, which just gets value traded by Bygone Echoes on 5. Remember, this turn 7. On turn 7, most people have 8/8s on board. It's very easy to kill a 2/12 with an 8/8 and a 4/4. Heck, Magma almost dies to the Dragon, Wind Fury, and Rogue and Shaman. Magma practically dies to Commandum Neptulon. Doesn't kill the bodies though, so the bodies still represent a threat, which makes this a good card, but I know, let's compare this to Abyssian. Abyssian's better in my opinion. Compare this to the Druid Colossal. The Druid Colossal is better. Serenity absolutely destroys this in its entirety, right, Lana? I think it's alright. It's probably not a bad legendary. It's not, let's compare to current meta. It's not freaking Dungar or Nosdormu level legendaries. But I don't think it's going to be like a tier 1 legendary. Tier 1.5? Tier 2? Probably Tuesday therapy. Alright, Ebon Scale Scout. 6 mana 4/4. Battle Cry, deal damage equal to this minion's attack. While in hand, play a dragon to become an 8/8 dragon. I haven't been rating, but 5/5, dude. 6 mana 8 face, summon an 8/8, probably with rush. 6 mana 4 4/4 deal 4. That's bad though. Interesting. So maybe logically they're closer to Druid Cards. Remember the Druid Cards? I was talking about how they're probably worse than average into amazingly good when active. I think this is that. But I think with the Druid I said amazingly good. I think with the Hunter, this one is nutty good. Confront the Tolliver, 3 mana, epic. Replay each 1-cost card you've played this game, targeting enemies if possible. This is like so meta dependent. This feels like an absolute flavor synergy build that 20 people will try to build a deck for. They will build it and they'll be excited that it climbed from tier 4 to tier 3. If that, tier 5 to tier 4 deck. Arena, can't even guarantee any synergies with this. I mean, there might be other cards that I haven't seen yet, but this feels mid. Even if it replays 3 1-cost cards, it's probably not good enough. This needs to replay what, 5, 6 1-cost cards or more to be good. What kind of deck are you playing if you've already played 6 1-cost cards? You probably have no cards left. I'm not sure this is so good. Tolliver Carver, 3 mana, 3/2, battlecry, choose a card in your hand. At the start of your turns, reduce its cost by 1. Interesting. Better version of Circadia Monster. The fact that you can target a card makes comboing crazy. I think this is good. Because you lose 1 mana, but you immediately gain 1 mana. So at worst, it's within the realm of the Ember Scale Shaman card, the 3 mana, 3/2 dragon that gives you a mana the next turn. But you get to choose specific card, which keeps going down, yeah, so 2 turns later, 3 turns later, 4 turns later, more upside. Plus, it enables combos, synergies, and earlier play of large cards. 1 mana tempo, as I said, yes. Oh, sorry, someone else. What I'm curious is, historically, when something said 1-cost card, it doesn't work with something like this. The card has to actually cost 1, but that would be interesting. Alright, Earthen Roar, 1 mana, there we go. Set an enemy's minions held to 1. If you're holding a dragon, pick another. Hunter's Mark on steroids. Probably extremely good if you're playing a dragon deck, which seems like one of the ways to go with Hunter. I think Hunter's Mark is still a playable card, which makes this card good, right? Because this is Hunter's Mark, basically, even without the dragon. I think this card's good. Given that it's pick for the second target, I think it will work on elusive. Yes. Given that now they don't recheck eligibility, Trang, I would say yes. Stone Talon Striker, 3 mana, 3/3 taunt. While in hand, play a dragon to become a 6/6. Same thing. Mech into insanely good. That logic seems the same logic I said for the Druid, the same logic I said for the earlier cards. So basically, these are cards where you have to take the risk to have enough dragons, no rogue. And if you do, your deck becomes insane. It's one of those cards that I used to say stuff like, you have to draft a bunch of cards which people will say are great. Oh my god, it's a 6/6 dragon. No, it's not a 6/6 dragon. It's a 6/6 dragon if. So these are cards which will elevate your entire deck once you hit the pivotal point of dragons. So you play a dragon, then this becomes a dragon, so then this can become the dragon for your next dragon. But yes, you need a crux pivotal point of dragons, which will make your deck go from bad, I think it's bad to be in this situation. Remember, these aren't dragons before they're upgraded, to actually crazy good. Thanks for the 200 bits, my man. 250! Thank you very much, my man. Supply Run. Shatter card for Hunter. I'm not going to explain Shatter again. We've gone through it. 4 mana. Draw 3 minions. Give me in your hand. +2/+2. 4 mana draw 3 is bad nowadays. It's like Rofam's Ladder style. The idea is obviously that you buff your hand, but 4 mana draw 3 is not good anymore. 4 mana buff your hand +2/+2 is probably also bad. Think Dinomancy. Combined, it's pretty good, given it probably draws 3 then buffs, but as a Shatter card overall, it's probably middling. Not something you're very happy drafting. I will say, Hunter does struggle with refill, so sometimes draw, in spite of it being bad, being draw anyway might be draftable. Like, I've played Hunter decks recently where I would take a card like this over a mid card. I don't care about playing yet another curve 4. If my deck is curving out, the draw might be great because it gives me my other cards. And that's where I think something like this is good. So it's all about it itself being a good card as much as being able to draw your dragons. Draw cards for Tolliver Carver. Draw things to enable Eben. That kind of thing. It's a pick for the right deck at the right moment. That's it. Shattered card split. However you generate them. As soon as they enter in hand, drawn, discovered, generated. Reinforcement Rallier, 1-mana 2/2 elusive. Fine card. Just a fine card. One drops in Hunter, good. Just a solid 1-drop. Again, it's not some OP card or whatever, but you're looking for 1-drops. This is a solid choice. Sylvanas Triumph, 2-mana deal 3. If you've played another copy of this, hit all enemies instead. Another, the style of bad into very good. Nowadays, 2-mana deal 3 sucks. 2-mana deal 3 plus upside is the modern standard. This is one of those where, do I take the risk of drafting a bad card for potentially great upside? 2-mana 3 AoE is insane. Insane. Like, insane. It's crazy. It's crazy. It feels very bad into super synergy. There's going to be a lot of variance. A lot of variance. Probably don't draft it over a good to premium card, unless it's your second one, obviously. But if it's your first one, probably situations where you take the risk. You can have 5 of these. Yeah, you can also pick this over a good card and then end up with 1. I would say, again, very draftable. Gotta be careful when you pick it. You can draft more than 2. Agreed. So let's say you draft 1, and then 4 turns later, 4 picks later, you're offered the 6-mana 8/8 dragon or Sylvanas Triumph. What do you do? Or you have no 4s, your curve is rough, and you're offered Blob of Tar, a premium 2, and Sylvanas Triumph. What do you do? Or your deck is running low on dragons, and you've drafted a bunch of those 6-mana 8/8 dragons, but you need a dragon to activate them. What do? You start to question it, which is why I'm saying no insta drafts, but something to consider. Especially earlier on in drafts, the upside goes up, yeah? Absolutely draftable though. You also have to draw the copies, exactly, so that's something. You can't just say, oh, easily, no problem. You also have to draw 2 cards for 1 to be good, yeah? And if anyone's played Highlander decks in the past, where people, or Reno decks rather than Highlander decks, Reno decks in the past, where you have 2 cards with 2 copies, my god, can you never draw those cards? So obviously that's bias, but you have to remember that drawing both copies all the time. Mage, not I know of so far. Volcanos, Colossal, 7-mana 4/8 elemental, Colossal +2. At the end of your turn, deal 2 damage to all other minions. So 2 AoE. The appendages are 2-mana 1/4 elementals. When this takes damage, you have a random fire spell that costs 3 less. So basically you have a 7-mana 4/8 that summons 2 1/2s, and you get 2 random fire spells that cost 3 less, and it AoEs everything else. This one will very much be dependent on the fire spell pool. Without the fire spells having impact, I think it will not be good. Yes, you're gonna tell me, oh my god, what if your opponent has a full board of 20 attack 2 health minions? Okay, yes. And what if my opponent has 1 damage and I draw Voodoo Doctor? And is Voodoo Doctor better than Volcanos? You know, remember, you get 4 spells? No, 2, right? Depends very much on the flame spell pool. For example, if I had to say now in Arena, right now, it says whenever. Okay, so there's 2 1/4s. Oh, you mean in total, Gold J Papas, in total. Yes. Sorry, you're likely and will get 4, but after they get traded into. Yes, in total, yes, sorry, yes, I agreed. Sorry, I said what happens when you play it on the turn you play it, right? Gold J, yes, you're right. When they trade into them, they will also give you another 2 fire spells. Yes, agreed. Very much depends on the fire spell pool though. In Arena recently, for example, without Corin, etc., the fire spell pool has not been very good. Yes, you can hit Trial by Fire, but man, you hit 4 Forged in Flames, beautiful. Burnt your own board, generated 4 Forged in Flames, sit here crying. Sounds like you're watching DoseofCoffee at this point. It's a comeback if you're behind. It's a little dependent on fire spell conditional value. I would start to put this into the it's fine. The Hunter one's probably better than it, and I didn't even put the Hunter in the best tier. However, you give me a meta with a premium fire spell pool, which we have had, this actually goes up. This goes up. So fire spell pool dependent. We've had metas where generating fireball was a low roll. Again, very different from arena and standard. The fire spell pools differ. So spell pool dependent. Alright, Archmage Kalik. Dude, where's his Gus? He lost his ghost chat. 4-mana 4/4 battle cry, give all spells in your hand and deck spell damage +1. Interesting. Again, very spell dependent. Probably nothing too primo. A 4-mana 4/4 is pretty rough, but it's pretty cool. Nothing too special, nothing too bad either. This is like the legendaries I mentioned before. It's not something that, you know, you're gonna absolutely hate to draft, like Nosdormu, for example. But you're not also, it's not also the legendary you're gonna be looking out for. I prefer Krakatoa, sad, but they're both good. Be interesting to see what comes in this bucket. Light Show, Star Power. I think very spell dependent again. This one in Arena will be dependent on its bucket and the meta for sure. Unstable Spellcaster, 4-mana 2/5 elemental, spell damage +1. Battle cry, if you dealt damage with a spell this turn, summon a copy. I mean, 4-mana 2/5 spell damage +1 is worse than the 4-mana 3/5 spell damage +1 Inspire card. You want to use the spell damage from this to help your spell, but in order to get the copy, you have to have already cast your spell. So what's this, like a middling version of Partner in Crime, which is like from 1927? Yeah, it's all revealed, Robo. All the core changes are revealed. Exclamation mark core in chat. This one is, I don't like this card. 3-mana 3/4. Alright, Conjuration Specialist. Battleground, choose a spell in your hand, split it into 2 random spells of the same cost. Not the same spell. Will core be an arena? No idea. Yeah, same cost, but it won't be the same spell, right, Golj? So, someone was asking me earlier if you can copy spells in your hand. The spell you target will... the spells you get have nothing to do with the spell you target, kind of thing. So this very much dependent on the pool. It's probably one of those cards that you're probably accept drafting and probably chuck out soon after. Alright, Raincaller, 2-mana 1/4 elemental. The first time you deal damage with a spell each turn, gain 2 attack. If the spell pool for a certain cost is narrow, it's a good card. The thing is this, Demo, if the spell pool for those costs is narrow, then you have that spell already. It becomes way more niche, right? So for this one, we're talking it might be good if let's say there's only a few 8 costs. So yeah, no, it's likely to give you Supernova, for example, which is also another fire spell, by the way, Supernova, to think of with the Colossal. Well, then you have to have an 8 cost that's not Supernova. Like, it makes it a little rougher to think of. So this is more when you have a narrow spell pool, but happen to have the spell that's not there. Or you just randomly play this as a tempo piece and hit a spell that you don't think fits what you have need for right now. This card, you can target Supernova and get 2. Well, that's spell pool dependent, right, Valvenia? We can't say that for Arena. Are the buffs permanent? Yes. So basically a 2-mana 3/4 is solid, or a 2-mana 1/4 sucks. It's better than Animated Moon. Well, I would say this card's not very good though either. It's fine. It's fine. You have to deal damage with a spell though, Demo. So yeah, Mana Worm from Wish, but Mana Worm is from 1927. Does scale faster, but with half the spells. Anything. But you can't. Coin doesn't count. Discovery of Magic doesn't count. Supernova doesn't count. But Fireball does, wherever you cast it. Actually, it's even worse in the sense it can only happen once a turn. Not a fan of this card. Not a fan of this card. Sindragosa's Triumph. 5-mana arcane spell. Deal 8 damage to a minion. Reduce the cost of a random card in your hand. Random. By the excess damage. Not a fan. There used to be a card. 5 mana. Deal 8 damage. Summon an XX. Where X is the excess damage. What was it called? Do you remember the card, chat? The fact that you can't target in hand in an expansion where hand targeting is a thing. Arcane Overflow, that was the card. And the fact that cost reduction is what you get instead of an on-stat board. I mean, it's going to be fine in certain situations, you know. You hit the right card. You hit 7 mana reduction on the perfect card. Not the biggest fan of this card. It's one of those cards where in the right situation it's good, but the right situation almost never happens, which makes it an on average bad card. Arcane Flow, this is the Shatter card for Mage, right? So 4 mana Shatter, deal 4 damage, deal 2 to all enemies. This is rough. This is rough. So deal 4 is a very much 2.5 mana nowadays. So we said earlier 2 mana is deal 3 plus upside nowadays. Nowadays 3 mana is deal 4 plus upside. Think, I don't know, the curse from Warlock, stuff like that. 3 mana is deal 4 plus upside. So let's say deal 4 is about 2.5 mana. So 4 mana, deal 4, ouch. 2 AoE, think Heatwave. You might say, oh, but that's freaking, what was it called? When it enters your hand. I don't think Fire Sale, I understand it's two-sided. Yes, 0. Combined, think Dunk Tank. Dunk Tank is from 1846. My great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandfather used to play Dunk Tank. Maybe Cyber. Dunk Tank is a deal 4 for 4, which is half Arcane Flow. Corrupt, deal 2 to everything else, which is the other half of Arcane Flow. What's easier to do, Corrupt at 4 cost, or play every card in between these two? Probably Corrupt. This card needs to reach the Iron Age. I understand this goes face with the 2 as well, but I don't like this guy. So, okay, so spell damage on this. Pause. Spell damage, like the legendary, makes it a little more interesting. So deal 5 and 3 AoE, different. However, conditionality on cards that are horrible doesn't make them good cards. In the right place at the right time, draft it. Go for it. You'll probably just play the 3 AoE and let the other thing fizzle until you need it for lethal. That's probably what I see it as. Maybe this will actually be in that legendary's pockets. Mage is Fabled. Ah, Fabled is intriguing as well when Brownie. I could see stuff like that. So again, conditionality, specific use case. But yes, 3 AoE for 4 I think is great, solid. As a card, I'm not a big fan. Arena, I'm talking Arena, guys. This is a Arena review guy. Spellweaver is brilliant, it's another arcane, so maybe this is something I didn't think of. Maybe a lot of it is about the Fabled package from last meta, from last expansion, and also the spell damage stuff that's coming. So 10 mana Spellweaver's Brilliant, summon a 6/6 dragon, costs 1 less for each damage you dealt with spells this turn. I don't like this card. If you Flame Strike 2 minions, this costs 0, and you Flame Strike 2 minions. I wouldn't say this is unplayable, but again, super conditionality. I mean, the thing I can think of the most is Arcane Shot. Yeah, 3 mana, deal 3 and 2 and 2, right? With spell damage, deal 4 and 3 and 3, bam, 3/6/6. It still costs 1 card, so basically, you have to have this in hand, you have to have the spell that goes with it in hand, and you have to play them both with the correct amount of targets, so it's good with AoE, stuff like that. Conditionality. I feel like this set is super conditional, super synergy dependent. In Arena, it is going to struggle. You draft it in the right moment, in the right deck, for the right point in time, it will be good. It still costs a card though. It still costs a card. This reminds me of the side quest, 1 mana, if you spend 8, summon a 6/6. That's what it reminds me of. But it has Fabled synergy, etc. Sleet Storm, 1 mana, Sleet Storm, deal 2, deal 1 damage to a random enemy minion. I think what they're trying to do is split them so that spell damage works twice. Yeah, so it would be deal 3, then deal 2. I think this is solid. It's a Frost spell, not an Arcane spell. It's fine. It's just okay. Nothing too premium, nothing too special. It's just okay. Don't hate this though. Well, it could be worse than Holy Smite Valvenia, yes, but it's likely better. I wonder about Order. Interesting. Not sure. Can go face though, yes. Winterspring Whelp, 1 mana, 1/2 dragon. Battlecry, discover a 1-cost spell from any class. I like this. Meta dependent, but I like it. It's probably just a fine 1-drop to have. Deja Vu comes to mind. Depends on the 1-cost spell pool, guys. Very much so. But typically you're fine having a 1 mana 1/2 dragon that also gives you some form of value. I mean, right now I'm thinking Deja Vu, Genser, but I have no idea. Better than Babbling Book. Yeah, it's like an upgraded Babbling Book, yeah? Chromatis, we're on to Paladin now. This is the Colossus for Paladin. 8 mana, 8/8 dragon, Colossus +4, taunt, lifesteal, elusive, divine shield. It summons 4 2/3s, which have each of the different keywords for the dragon. So you have a 2 mana 2/3 elusive, a 2 mana 2/3 divine shield, a 2 mana 2/3 taunt, and a 2 mana 2/3 divine shield. And they all have Death Rattle, remove said keyword from Chromatis. So you have a 2 mana 2/3 elusive. If they kill it, your Chromatis loses elusive. Pretty cool. I think it's cool. It's cool in that it creates, if you're a good player especially, it's a lot of stats, first of all, it's a lot of stats, but it creates awkwardness in ways that a good player can force to be game ending. So basically, I'm playing an 8 mana 8/8 taunt lifesteal elusive divine shield with a 2 mana 2/3 taunt. Now, they can't trade into my minions because I have an 8/8 taunt. And in order to remove the taunt so they can trade into the rest of my minions, they have to kill a 2/3 taunt, which means they have to run a minion into my 2/3 taunt. At which point, my big boy loses taunt. But now it still has lifesteal and divine shield, and I forced them to run into a 2/3 taunt. And now there's a 2/3 lifesteal. So if they can't then kill me, now I'm representing heal 10 unless they purposely heal me for 2. And you get to play around with the game state in this manner. I think that's interesting. That's pretty cool. Again, not like the overpowered level of Colossus, I want to say, but I think it's a solid one. Removing Divine Shield is also difficult, that's true, because you have to kill the 2/3 taunt into the 2/3 Divine Shield twice. You also can't target it until you kill the elusive. In order to kill the elusive, you have to get through the taunt to get to the elusive. Actually pretty cool. I like the design of this one. Ah, Nosdormu Bronze Aspect. Yo, is that... Dude, that's modeled off of me when I was younger. Really cool. 5 mana 4/4. At the end of your turn, give your minions Divine Shield. Any that already have one gain +3/+3. Yeah, let me know in the comment section down below whether you think this card is modeled off of me. This is a snowball card. I feel like in Arena, you rarely have more than like 2 cards. It feels like a win more snowball card. A 5 mana 4/4 is not good. 5 mana 4/4 give 2 minions Divine Shield. Man, I start to think of that 4 mana 4/4 mech. They might say, oh, but that had to buff mechs with Divine Shield and taunt. Well, yes, but it gives itself... I mean, it's a 2026 card. Yes, it's a 2026 card, but this feels more like a win more card. It's going to be really annoying if you go first. It's a minimum of 4/4 Divine Shield. Yeah, for 5 though. You have to kill it. It has taunt, right? But you have to kill it. But I think the Colossus is better than this card. If you taunt plus this, difficult to clear. I think what's good about the Paladin cards, so far I've only seen the legendaries, is that a good player can play them better. They're very much about what board state you present at what point in the game to snowball. Does that make sense? When do I play this? Do I play it going first? Do I play it on 7? Do I play it on 5 as a 4/4 Divine Shield, knowing that they can't kill it and then follow up with 3 small minions? Do I play it after a taunt? Do I play it with a taunt? Do I wait a little bit and play it with Blub? Blub is gonna be 5 mana, Jense. Yeah, usually for me to say a card is OP, conditionality has to be out of the picture, like Shadows of Yesterday currently. This is a card. Conditionality, when I say conditionality, I don't mean, oh, if you have a dragon in hand. I mean at a state or type or idea of the game. Because if you play this on 5, and your opponent has a 1/1 and a 5/5 on board, it is horrible, right? So I think it's good. It's alright. It's alright. Alright is what I would say. You can play it on any turn with good value, even 7+. And it is a snowball card, that's most importantly. Yes, Blub of Tar is getting nerfed to a 5 mana 4/4 that summons 2 2/2s. Flight Maneuvers, this is the Shatter card for Paladin. We haven't seen a Herald class in a while. Summon 2 4/2 Drakes, 4 mana 2 4/2s. Fine. Give your minions +1/+1 Divine Shield. Bad version of Flash Sale? Well, actually no, because they all get Divine Shield. I would say this actually isn't too bad for a Shatter card. Mostly the Divine Shield one though. Synergy with Nosdormu. 2 4/2s for 4 is not very good though, but again, it's one of those cards that will just completely... So this is the thing. Yes? Remember, Flash Sale, I used to draft Paladins where you try to board swarm and then Flash Sale wins games. And you can draft Flight Maneuvers for the same manner. However, you do have a 4 mana summon 2 4/2s if you're out of cards. Or, if you can't use it because your opponent's clearing up your boards, this will combine into a 4 mana 2 5/3 Divine Shields, which isn't bad then. So I would say this is probably one of the better Shatter cards. Also synergizes with cards like this. Which, by the way, again, something I forgot to mention, what buckets these come with will also, in Arena, so the 2, 3, 4, whatever cards they come with, will change their what I call conditionality. Yeah? Bronze Redeemer. 5 mana 3/3. At the end of your turn, summon a dragon with stats equal to this minion's. Hand buff, Pally. Reminds me very much of that 4 mana 3/5 ton that summons a copy if it has 5 attack. Horrible. 2 3/3s for 5 sucks. You give it a little buff and suddenly it's very strong. I mean, conditionality again. But yeah, you throw in a few hand buffs and I think this becomes pretty strong. What makes it strong? 6/6? 5/5? 5/5 probably, because it does keep going every turn. So you just need like a Muscletron. Not difficult, but hand buff has typically been slow nowadays. If before 5 you're hand buffing, you're probably falling behind on board. And playing 2 5/5s on 5 on a board you're behind probably means the first one never survives. You do get 2 5/5s, but instead discover from the Paladin spell +2/+2. Yeah. So this is what I call conditionality again. Yeah. Finding situations in which it would work, which is, I think, is fine. Good players. People sometimes tell me discover is RNG, not a skill, yada yada. All these cards, I'm saying conditionality is where the skill of when to play them, how to play them, what to drop them in, when to drop them, when to discover them, etc. starts to see play. +4/+5 Dark Gift. Sentry Aura, another aura. Fable deck, 3 mana. Your minions' end of turn effects trigger twice. See, I understand. Bad by itself, but seems to be a lot of synergistic cards with it. This will be a little worse in Arena because Arena is a mix of old and new cards, and this clearly is designed for the new cards. Not that there won't be synergy old cards. I know 4 mana 3/3 Dragon Drew too, right? There will be synergy with old cards, but I think it will be more designed for the new cards. Interesting though. 4 mana 3/4 Dragon. At the end of your turn, get a random holy spell. Reduce its cost by 3. Right, same thing. 4 mana 3/4 random holy spell. Reduce its cost by 3. Not too bad. Solid. Depends on the holy spell pool, but as long as the holy spell pool is not dead, the fact that you get a holy spell that's basically giving you 3 mana, I think it is worth the 1 mana reduction. Think Sunwell for heck's sake, dude. Keeper Strength. I know, very dependent on holy spell pool, but typically the holy spell pool is strong enough for something like this. I would say this card is solid. Gelbrim's Triumph, 1 mana, get a random Paladin aura. It lasts an additional turn in hand, right? Not in play, surely. This card is intriguing. Not bad. Meta dependent. There are old Paladin auras which suck nowadays, but most auras, like 80-90% of them, are new, which means you're very likely getting something like this or something from the Fabled meta, stuff like that, right? The 5 mana 3/5 Dragon one, stuff like that, which makes this very good in my opinion. But yes, there's Inventor's aura, which would absolutely suck. There's old ones like Deputization aura, for example. Could come from the Mage. That's actually pretty interesting. I think this card is good 80-90% of the time. In the right meta, it can be good 100% of the time. In the wrong meta, it probably will still be good 80-90% of the time, because most of the good auras are new and most of the cards of the same era are probably in similar metas. So I would say this is good. Chamber of Aspects, 2 mana, 2 durability location. Choose a minion in your hand. Targeted hand buff. Give it +2/+2. Hand buff synergy. I'm thinking this. So remember when we said 5 is good? 5/5 is good? I would say this card is solid. The fact that you can target in your hand is alright. However, a reminder again that hand buff is slow tempo. Nowadays, it's hard to see hand buff be played because people know to punish you for your loss of tempo. If this is buffing a random normal minion, which will frequently be the case in Arena, it actually is not that good. You may say, oh, you can target, it's not random. Yes, sure, but how many times are you gonna have this minion in hand? Not only do you have to draft it, it also has to be drawn. So you can use it to buff the very next minion you play, sure. So 6 mana 5/4. 5/6. It loses a lot of value. I think this is fine. The right deck can make it great. Playing it is just always a tempo loss, in my opinion. Agreed. Nah, I thought we'd go for this. Inspiring Maul, 2 mana 2/2 weapon. Okay. Death Rattle trigger random a friendly minion's end of turn effect. Same thing. So a weapon that sets up the synergy. A lot of synergy. I'm seeing a lot of synergy. Just like Mage, I'm seeing a lot of synergy. That being said, I think the Paladin synergy is better. Not only is it more consistent, but it's further spread. What do I mean by further spread? The synergy works more with cards outside of of the expansion, which makes it better for Arena. Consistency of synergy is important for Arena. If cards synergize only with each other, the same 3 cards, Arena makes them worse cards because you either have them or they do nothing. In Paladin, hand buff could work with old cards, and a random end of turn effect could work with old cards, and you don't need them to work, and there's new cards which they work with, so they become better cards, I think. Alright, Bulwark, 6 mana, 3/6. At the end of your turn, deal 2 damage to all enemies. Solid into great with the synergy. 4 AoE with this becomes tremendously good. Set up the weapon. Remember, the weapon, you can play the previous turn, swing, then play this swing again, bam, 4 AoE. Set up the aura. Requires a little setup, so better players will make use of it better for sure, understanding the give and take of mana to falling behind. Yes, Gunism should be. I think it's a fine card. 2 AoE is about 2.5 mana, which makes the card a 3.5 mana 3/6. I think it's a good card. Should be a good card. The issue is obviously it has to happen later, but when Corset is out, AoE is vital and premium, so I think a card like this will see a spot. Meta dependent for Arena again, but typically a card like this will see a lot of spots to be good. Alright, that was Priest. That was Pally. Moving on to Priest, a 7 mana 8/8 dragon. Alexstrasza, Guardian of Life. Set your remaining health to 15. When you reach full health, deal 15 damage to your opponent. We do not know what will be in Arena now. I don't like this card. I mean, I understand, but you have to heal 15 to deal 15? I don't think it's that good. Oh, like Story of Amara and stuff like that, I understand. Very non-Arena though. 7 mana 8/8 is not horrible. You have to remember one thing, right? There used to be cards like in Warlock that say set your health to 15, for example, and people say horrible. Remember, you can heal with this card, yes? Before a legendary, I think it's a legendary you typically want. Remember, this is a legendary. Yes, 7 mana 8/8 heal to 15 with upside, but yeah, so niche. Does it have to stay on board? I would assume that it doesn't have to stay on board. Otherwise, I would rate it as a -5 out of 5. I think it just procs. It's not a very good Arena card, I would say, in general. Very hard to heal 15 in Arena, especially, you know, when your opponent is trying. Your opponent knows that's about to happen and will stop you from it happening as much as they can. Sometimes it will happen, your opponent will Amara and you'll get pissed. But in general, cards that are synergistic, conditional, again I'm going to use that word, and are very good almost never are not good cards. You have to remember that. If a card is great almost never, the card is not good. This is the Priest Colossus, 7 mana 4/8, Colossal +3. After you store health to a character, attack a random enemy minion. It attacks. The bodies are 1/2s. At the end of your turn, restore 3 health to a random damage-friendly character. So basically, you have 3 minions. It heals 3, the 4/8 attacks. Heals 3, the 4/8 attacks again. It heals 3, the 4/8 attacks again. The idea being hopefully that it heals the main body. Feels very behemoth-y almost. The OG Colossal Behemoth. Yeah, they can heal the Colossal in between, but you don't know whether they can. Remember, it can always heal your face instead. Looks like the appendage go to the right. Could be. Like Glug. Glug used to all go to the right. There are 3 of them as well, so they might. So if you're full HP and play this, it does nothing. Yes. I mean, the stats are played. This is probably one of the worst Colossals we've seen. Probably even, I mean, maybe Mage level, but it might be even worse than the Mage one. It's worse than Behemoth. It's like the 7 mana 4/10 Beast Demon in Demon Hunter, right? But better as a legendary. Not a big fan, but let's see if there are synergies. Format 4/5, Draenei, Cleansing Cleric Battlecry. Your healing effects heal 2 more health this game. So this is perma. So here comes some synergies. Yeah, it's just a format 4/5 at first. This is a synergy dependent card. Playing it itself sucks, but you're likely to get some value out of it, so not a horrible card, but man, not a card you're excited to see. Medivh's Triumph, 5 mana holy spell. Deal 4 damage to all minions, costs 1 if you control a legendary card. This card is not bad. There was something that generated a random holy spell as well, right? This card is pretty solid. 5 mana for AoE is not bad, and Priest does like to be able to hold back board clears and play them when needed, i.e. when it's not destroying your own board. Obviously in Arena you only have 1 legendary, maybe a couple more for like Fabled, but control in hand or on own board? Sorry, control in hand or on board? On board, I guess. Makes it worse. So typically it's gonna be 5. So basically you're thinking about Fabled with this. Yeah, legendary location, the legendary weapon. I don't think it's horrible even at 5. Not like Giga Premium, but I think this is meant to go with the Fabled personally. 3 mana, 3/8 undead, lifesteal, Battlecry, 3/4 damage to this minion. Yeah, you're right, Lana. This is a 3 mana, 3/4 lifesteal with some semblance of upside. Oh wait, this heals you 4. So this is actually not a bad curve filler in Arena. 3 mana, 3/4, heal 4. 3 mana, 3/4, lifesteal, heal 4. Actually not bad at all. Forgot about the heal 4. Makes a difference. Not bad at all, I think. Let me check Trang. Your healing effects. Is lifesteal a heal effect? I'm actually not sure. I think this card's solid. Yes. So there comes some more synergy. I think this will be an annoying card. Schism. Schism, I think. This is the Shatter card for a Priest. We've gone through all the Shatter in a row. Give a friendly minion +2/+3 and elusive. There was a 3 mana card which did that, I feel. There was a 6 mana card demo. Cartoot Defender. With Reborn though as well. 4 mana summon a copy. 4 mana summon a copy already existed. Germination, Druid. There also already existed in Priest, I think. This looks pretty rough unless it's combined, not gonna lie. I mean, again, the copy can scam, but Lord, man, I would not combine, it's pretty rough. And Priest is way harder to combine, because you're very much going to be the, oh, I'm gonna hold Medivh's Triumph for a clear, oh, but now I have Shatter, oh, do I have to waste this to Shatter, combine it? This is a bad card, I think. The Summoner copy can scam, but in general, it's not very good. Ruby Sanctum, 1 mana location. 3 durability. Your next healing effect this turn deals damage instead. You think this is the best Shatter card? No, I think the Paladin one's better. I think the Druid one in the right deck is better as well. When you generate the card or draw it, when it's added to your hand, it splits into the separate halves, 1 on each side of your hand. Gold J Papas, you can play them separately, as they're shown on the bottom. When you play every card in between them, they combine into the top version, which casts both of them at once. The cards are reduced and then combined with a key to discount. I have no idea. This card looks intriguing. It kind of sucks with lifesteal and all of these things. Not sure about this one. Mend. 1 mana holy spell. Restore a minion to full health. Draw a card. Holy crap. This is good! What happens if you don't have enough space in hand for both cards? With Shatter, you lose one of them. Same to you, Bambucha. If you have 9 cards in hand, when the Shatter gets added to your hand, you lose one of the halves. So basically you get just 1/2 of the Shatter card, which sucks. Mend with Ruby Sanctum, yeah. Assassinate. Draw a card. This is insane. This card is insane. This card is insane. Super good. Absolutely super good. Not only does it work with cards like this, but also, man, how often in Arena do you have 2 4/5s and a 1/1 on board? You double trade and then you heal it back to full. You also draw a card. Holy moly. This card's very good. Purifying Breath, 2 mana fire spell. Deal 5 damage to a minion. If it dies, restore 5 health to the enemy hero. This card is very conflagrate. I missed a few pieces of the reveal streams, Rufy, so I don't know if something like that was said. I think star ratings are very much dependent on the meta they're in, Brento Box. So let's put it this way. What would you rate this one, Brento? You don't have to answer, it's rhetorical. What if you put this in a classic meta? What if you put it in an Imbue meta? What if you put it in a Lost City meta? What if you put it in a Rustican's Rumble meta? I've rated it everything from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in every one of those questions. So what's the point of the rating, right? For me personally, without knowing the meta, irrelevant personally. That's why I don't really do these reviews usually. I'm talking about what's strong for it, what's weak for it. I think it actually helps a lot more to understand what's the strength, what's the weakness, how it's used, where it's used, explaining a few questions about it. And then that's how it's applied, right? So Conflagrate is 1 mana. I think this is an early game tempo piece. I think this is a fine card. I would not call this card bad. A little awkward sometimes though. Opponent plays a 5/5 taunt, they're at 5 health, you have a 5/5 on board. Still good because you get to protect your minion. I would say this is a fine card. Fine to good even, especially in Priest. Also remember, by the way, cards like this. 4 mana 3/3 dragon, instance matriarch. At the end of your turn, if this is at full health, gain +3. So this is a 4 mana 3/6. 4 mana 3/6 nowadays is not very good. Typically 4 mana 3/6 is bad because most 4 mana 3/6 cards have upside. Think elusive, generate a random dragon at end of turn. Think if you're holding a dark gift, gain +3 attack and 6 armor in warrior. I think this card is meh in arena. Can snowball to what? A 4 mana 3/9 if they literally ignore it. With the 1 mana heal is very interesting actually though. It can become a card you ignore or a card that you have to targeted kill. I would not call this a very good card. It's fine. Sinestra, over to the Rogue. This is the Rogue Colossal. We're back to Herald, okay? We've already explained all of the Herald stuff. 6 mana 5/5 Dragon, Colossal 2. Your spells from other classes cast twice. This is something that people are going to absolutely love. It comes with 2 1/1s. When summoned, get a random spell from another class. It costs 1 less. So again, remember, go back to the beginning of the review if you're interested in a reminder about how Herald worked. So heralding twice makes the Sinestra's wings 2/2s that give you a random spell that costs 2 less. Heralding 4 times gives you a 4/4 that gives you a random spell that costs 4 less. The spells that you get from the wings also cost twice with Sinestra active. So pretty cool. Colossal in my opinion. 6 mana 5/5 that summons 2 1/1s that gives you 2 random spells is already kind of fine, and it can actually go up to a 6 mana 5/5 that summons 2 4/4s. It basically gives you 2 spells you can immediately play twice each. I love this Colossal. It's one of those really fun ones, I think. Also pretty solid. It ain't Druid good, but upgraded, heralded, it becomes pretty sweet. Do you play at turn 6? Well, the idea that there should be an do you play it at turn 6 answer is wrong. If your hand is empty and it's turn 6, do you play it on turn 6? Sure. If you have an even better turn 6 play and you have 3 heralds in hand and playing it in 2 turns upgrades it fully and destroys your opponent, no. So, of course you can play it on turn 6. Will there be cases where not playing it on turn 6 is correct? Also yes. Cards should always be judged by the meta, the game, your deck, etc. Back to my answer about why I don't give a star rating. Izarath. It is a good card though. Izarath. 5 mana 5/3. Battlecry, devour 2 random cards from the opponent's hand. Then go dormant for 2 turns. Death Rattle return them. I mean, what's this? Like Dirty Rat version 2? Or wait. We decided Renfernal sucks so much, we're trying a new version of Renfernal. Does Devour mean it gets their stats? No, I don't think it's worse than the 3/3 Spider. Probably comes with Shadow Step. I mean, it's a disruptor. Not a very arena kind of tool. This is more of a standard. This is a disruptor. Straight up, it's a disruptor. But the lack of tempo gained from playing this makes this a bad arena card. Bad arena card. Really bad. 3 mana 3/1 Stealth, Death Rattle Herald Sinestra. Death Rattle Herald Sinestra. Interesting. So remember, on Death Rattle they will summon a soldier. Herald summons a soldier, and the soldier is basically Sinestra's appendage. So this is a 3 mana 3/1 Stealth. Summon a 1/1 that gives you a random spell that costs 1 less, up to a 4/4 that gives you a random spell that costs 4 less. Could have easily made this battle cry. It being a Death Rattle is actually worse. I think when you see the fact that it has Herald, things get much better. Remember, 3 mana 3/1, summon a 1/1, get a random spell, gain 1 mana is much better than just a 3 mana 3/1. But I think because it's a Death Rattle, it's much weaker. They made this guy necessarily weak compared to other heralds. I think it could have been Battle Cry and would have been on par, right? Because then you get the immediate tempo. I don't think it's bad. I mean, no herald card is bad, but before you upgrade your soldiers, I don't think this is exactly a great play either. Once you upgrade them, sure. Death Rattle synergies, maybe. Still. Daze, 3 mana Daze. Return enemy minions to owner's hand. They can't play it next turn. We're talking sap here, basically. Cards like these are always good. This is worse than Chrono Shot. 1 mana more, and also doesn't increase by 2 mana. Sap effects are always good. Sap effects are always good. Up to 3 from 2 is a hit compared to Sap, to Chrono Shot, etc. But they're just always great. because you get to choose when to play them. Oh, your opponent decided to depend on a taunt, bam, they're dead. Oh, your opponent spent a lot of mana on a large minion, bam, they're screwed. These cards are always good. Rite of Twilight, 2 mana Herald Sinestra, combo deal 3. Interesting. The fact that it's combo is a little awkward. Again, feels unnecessarily slightly weak, but I guess they understand that you're going to be generating a lot of stuff. This card's okay. We have a lot of these kind of combo cards right now. The Jades, Summon Jades, the Get Attendee, these kind of cards. 2 mana deal 3, Herald Sinestra, summon a 1/1, get a random spell. It's fine. I think it's better than the 3, I agree. Another Herald card. They're just fine. I think the largest effect is the Herald and the Colossals. Twilight Mistress, 9 mana 4/12 Dragon. Battlecry, return all enemy minions to their owner's hand. And this is Vanish on a Stick. Yes. It's a great effect. Amazing effect is the fact that it comes on 9 too slow. Oh, only enemy minions. Oh, that makes it. I don't know why. I actually thought it was all minions. The flavor text is actually Vanish on a Stick. Dude, I didn't read the flavor text. See, they should hire me at Blizzard, man. Look how good my analyses are. Yeah, this is actually very good. It's a little late game, which is the only reason I think it doesn't become giga OP. And it's just really good. I mean, just and really good shouldn't be in the same sentence, but you get my point. I didn't realize it only said enemy, so yes. This could be your ticking time bomb. What do you mean ticking time bomb? Well, you present boards into boards into boards. Your opponent can stall into stall into stall until the one turn their stall is absolutely countered by Mistress. Bam, GG. But yes, it is 9 mana is slow. Slow not in the sense of what you do for 9 mana, but slow in the sense of how long it takes before you can get there. That's the only thing. I think that knocks it down a notch for sure. It's good for a comeback, it's good for a finisher. I think it's still solid. You can get it for 1 mana from Merithra, the Dragon Legendary. Ouch. Alright, Garona's last stand. 2 mana tradable, destroy a legendary minion. In Arena, this is a yoke. I mean, sure, great sometimes. Reminds me of the whole Rend Blackhand stuff. Yo, Rend Blackhand is gonna destroy everything! Sure, buddy. Sure it is. Good to discover when needed. Yeah, the issue is, when needed is so rare that every other time you don't want it and it takes up one of your options, it is rough. Yeah, it has tradable at least, but point stands. Stolen Power, 3 mana, get a random shatter card from another class. It's already combined. Bad card. Why? So we've already seen a lot of the shatter cards, and we've seen how they are solid cards when combined. Individually, most of them suck. When combined, they are pretty good cards, but a lot of them are, how can I put this? A lot of them are dependent on specific deck builds. So Treants into Treant, ancient, what do you call it? Death Rattle Summon Treants, sure. Summon 2/4 dragons with +1/+1 Divine Shield, sure. +2/+3 to a minion, summon a copy, sure. So they all are dependent on different things. The Druid needs a token build. The Paladin needs a token build as well. The Priest needs a good, strong minion. So the fact that you can't choose which one you're gonna get, you get a random one which you don't know whether it will fit your deck, or more importantly, your board state, and then you still have to pay the full mana for the card. So if you're paying 4 mana for the Shatter card, a lot of them were 4 mana, I think, you're paying 7 mana to cast it. Yeah, 7 mana to cast the Shatter card. Now you might say, oh, the Mage is AoE. Yes, so what if you get AoE when you need a buff? What if you get the buff when you need AoE and still paying 3 mana more? This is gonna scam people sometimes, but most of the times you don't want this card. There's no cost to combine, you just have to play the cards between them. Rewind. This card probably needs something like Discover. It costs 1 less or something, I don't know. I think this card it will scam you sometimes. The person plays it, then you go, kick W, why are they playing it? Kick W this, kick W that, oh my god, they got the perfect one, and then you're screwed. How much mana would you say you cheat by playing a combined Shatter card? Probably 2. I mean, it might be 3 demo, but they're already overpriced to begin with. So combining them was good, because it's making up for the fact that they're overpriced. So if the card, let's say the Druid one, 3 mana summon 2/2/2s, 3 mana Death Rattle, give your things treants. Those are 2 mana cards nowadays almost. So combining them to play 1 for 3 is gaining what, 1 mana? 2 mana because you have to play them at the same time for 1 card? Let's say 2 mana. So this is 3 mana plus, if you're counting this as 3 versus 2, you're not even counting the fact that you have to make up for the fact that they're bad, right? The mana that you need to make up for originally. Well, I found this card. Thank you very much for the resub, Rogaldinho. Glad you're enjoying. Agent of the Old One, 1 mana 2/1 Demon. Battle Cry, choose a card in your hand to transform into a coin. This one's interesting, I would say. Solid 1-drop piece in the fact that it's a good combo activator, etc. I think it's nothing too special. You have to lose a card. You can choose the card. It does give you a coin. If you're going to be doing a lot of Imbue, Sinestra, Generation, blah blah blah, there's upsides, yeah, to it. I think Fillet Fighter is better than this. I think it's more about the fact that it's a 1 mana minion, combo enabler, etc, etc than anything. Nothing too premium. You draft it when you sort of need a specific 1-drop of stuff. I spoke about some 1-drops earlier. There was one in Druid, there was one in Mage, we said. There was one in Hunter as well. These are the fine 1-drops that you're okay to draft when you need the curve fillers, the 1-drops, etc. Nothing's too special about them, but you have to remember that having 1-drops serves a role. Every time I play Rogue, I'm so happy to have 4 or 5 1-drops, especially if I have a bunch of combo cards. This is a card that fits that role. Remember, you choose the card in your hand, so it's not random. Yeah, very much combo fuel, very much 1-drop fuel. One of those cards. And at that, I don't think it's a horrible one. Chaos Supplicant, 4 mana 3/5. After you cast a spell, cast a random spell of the same cost from another class. Dark Moon Magician right here, guys. Yeah, that's what I said, right? Demo. Even with Sinestra generating a bunch of random spells, or something like Chaos Supplicant, I don't know, kills you, costs Burgle and you end up with dead cards. Bad Magician? Bad in the sense that it costs 1 more. The interesting thing about Chaos Supplicant is that it synergizes with Sinestra mostly. The fact that you're gonna have a bunch of cheap spells, but this is very much. So Dark Moon Magician, or whatever it was called, the Mage elusive card from the past, 3 mana 2/4 elusive. When you cast a spell, cast a random spell of the same cost, is memey and bad in some metas, and in metas where the spell pool is great at certain costs, it becomes solid. This card is more memey than that in my opinion. I think the idea is the whole Sinestra reduced spell synergy. You gotta probably look at the whole spell pools and figure out which spells you want to cast. Like we've had metas where a 9-cost spell always guarantees Nebula, these kind of things. It's probably more memey than good, this card, in my opinion. Very spell pool dependent, but in general, that's my take. Well, Magician is also a spell that costs 1 more. I think Magician is better. So this is more memey, absolutely. More Chuck, so we're on to Shaman now. My god. Alright, this is a 10 mana 10/10 elemental. Battle Cry, draw a card and reduce its cost by 10. Repeat this with excess cost reduction. Interesting. This is a very late game, very slow, very good refill tool. It's always good. Well, nowadays, cards that do nothing on landing are not very good. So yes, it's going to give you a 20 mana play, potentially. Up to 20 mana anyway, up to 20 mana. Typically the last card will have some remaining cost. So let's say 15 to 20 mana play. But none of that 15 mana can be guaranteed to have board impact. The 10 mana 10/10 sure as heck doesn't. You have no mana left over when you play the 10 mana 10/10, so you can only play the cards you draw. What are you drawing? Are you drawing Taunt, a Rush, a Spell? This is just a refill tool when refill is the only thing you need. That's it. It happens very late. This is not a legendary you're typically happy drafting, but one that at least presents some semblance of refill is the only thing I would call this. There are worse legendaries. There are better legendaries. Alakir, Lord of Storms. This is the Colossal 8 mana 2/8 elemental. Colossal +2. Rush Wind Fury. Battle Cry, get 2 minions with cost equal to this minion's attack. They cost 1. The appendages are adjacent minions have +1 attack. So when you play this is an 8 mana 2/8 which gets 1 attack from one hand and 1 attack from the other hand. So it's an 8 mana 4/8 Rush Wind Fury, so we're talking Walking Mountain. Get 2 4 costs, they cost 1, which is already pretty good. This is already pretty good. This is going up there in one of the stronger Colossals. So far one of the stronger Colossals was the Demon Hunter, the Death Knight. The Demon Hunter is a finisher, the Death Knight is a board swing. This is also a board swing. This is also a board swing. I think something like the Death Knight and Shaman ones, they're really dependent on heralding to go from good to Busto. So these become from 1/2s plus 1 attack, they become 2 4s plus 2 attack, and they become 4 8s with plus 4 attack. So you do end up with, at 4 herald, these are 2 4/8s that give the main thing plus 4 attack, which becomes a 10/8 Rush Wind Fury that gives you 2 10 costs that costs 1. Nuts. Absolute nuts. 10 costs are awkward sometimes, is part of the downside, but 2 4/8s are crazy, and these buff adjacent minions. You can play this to buff your board plus 4 attack. Like, let's say you have 2 minions, you can play this card, and this is weird, but you can play this card as a kill taunt minion, give 2 side minions plus 4 attack. So you actually get plus 8 attack, yes? So let's say you have 2 minions on board and your opponent plays a taunt. You play Alakir in the middle, Alakir kills their taunt. Very easy too, especially at the 10/8 Rush Wind Fury, and you get plus 8 damage face. This Colossal is strong. This Colossal is strong. You can play it on the right and get plus buff. You can play it at turn 10 and play 2 10 costs. This Colossal is versatile and strong, even if in its weakest form. In its weakest form, it is an 8 mana 4/8 that does nothing because your opponent has no board, that gives you 2 1/2s, that gives you 2 4 costs in hand that costs 1. That's its weakest form. Everything above that is giving you either 6 costs or 10 costs. It's buffing your board, it's killing minions on their board, versatility, conditionality of how well you know how to play it. This is a very strong one. You get this for 1. There's your refill as well. This is crazy good. This is one of the best ones. Ascendance, 4 mana, nature spell, transform all friendly minions into ones that cost 1 more. They summon the originals when they die. This card, I mean, this card is intended to synergize with this, which by the way is absolutely crazy. I think it's a cool card. I think it's very good. The DK5 cost 1, yes. The one you said, the DK5 cost, that's double unholy, that summons that summons 4 costs when they die, right? This is crazy good. This card's crazy good. This is a very good card. I think the idea is to use it with Alakir as a swing, right? So you play Alakir, Alakir is great as is, you save the minions and then bam chicka wow wow. But man, you could play a tempo 1, tempo 2, tempo 3, value trade them all, then play Ascendance, you get a 2, 3, and 4 cost, and they summon a 1, 2, 3. It's already crazy good, right? This card is great. Definition of win more. Yes and no. Yes and no, right? Chili, because let's say you just have a 4-drop on board and you play this. Well, you've basically summoned a 5-drop. That summons the original 4-drop already. So stickiness, full heal, death rattle synergy activations. Does the Colossal give additional hands with this? You mean when the Colossal is resummoned, does it resummon the hands? Yes. Crusader's Aura also was for leaderboard, that was good. I understand what Chili's saying with win more in the sense there's not a card you just play. It needs some thinking and stuff, but still. It gives a new minion with a death rattle effect, I presume, yes. I love this card, very good. 3 mana 4/3 elemental, fine statted. Battle cry, choose a spell in your hand that costs 4 or less to absorb death rattle, cast it. Aggro wants cards like Ascendance, agreed. But also, so does the Colossal, potentially. But you can end the game with the Colossal, but Ascendance works with it as well. This card is okay. It's 3 mana 4/3 is typically a little rough statted nowadays overall, but fine. Casting the spell for free is great, but it kind of depends on what spell. This spell, I mean, your opponent can basically kill it when they want, but typically it's a positive, right? Other spells, like, I don't know, deal 3 damage to a minion, I'm inventing. It could deal damage to your own minion. Hit or miss of a card. In the right deck, it could be a great card. In the wrong deck, it's pretty bad because it's a 3 mana 4/3. 3 mana 3/4 becomes better. Point still stands on the logic, you know. If you run this, your deck has options. Remember, I'm talking about Arena, yeah, Foffer. In Standard, fair. In Standard, you basically always run it only if you have the synergies or the conditionality I'm talking about. In Arena, sometimes you draft it when you can guarantee it. Sometimes you have to take the risk about whether you will be able to guarantee it or not, and that's where the value of the card lies. Mordin's Last Stand, 9 mana nature spell. Draw 2 cards, cost 1 less for each time a friendly character attacked this game. Good card. You're playing this for 0, straight up. This card costs 0. Turn 5, turn 6, turn 7, think of it like 4 glory. That's what I would see it. Because 4 glory is typically 0 on those kind of turns, especially if you're behind. Maybe costs a little more earlier, as would this. This is a better version of 4 Glory. I would say it's similar. I would say it's similar to 4 Glory. And that 4 Glory can probably be cheaper earlier, but 4 Glory is harder to be 0. Weapon attacks, hero attacks, they all work, yes. Poor demon hunters. Alright, Skyward Sentinel, 2 mana 0/3 elemental, taunt, battlecry, herald, Alec here. So we have to remember that this comes with the soldier. So this is a 2 mana 0/3 taunt that summons a 1/2, which gives it 1 attack. So now the question starts to be, do soldiers get summoned on the right always? I guess so. This card is fine. Not very good, not bad. As early heralds. Once you start heralding more, all herald cards are amazing. This is something I will say. Some herald cards are good as initial heralds, right? Some herald cards are just fine. Nothing too special, right? As initial heralds, great as mid heralds, and busted as top heralds. Some other cards are good already as initial heralds and climb all the way to busted. So all herald cards are pretty good because of the effect of summoning the soldier. This is one of the cards I think is fine. Initial herald, nothing too special, nothing too crazy, but gets super good as you buff the crazy one. Will still be offered the herald cards if you didn't drop the colossal? No idea, robot. So guys, if you want the full explanation, please go back to the beginning of the review. I spent like 15 minutes explaining herald. Essentially, it upgrades your colossal and it summons one of the colossal's appendages. Every 2 costs of herald upgrades the colossal appendage into double effect and double stats, up to doubled twice. So this will summon this, a 1/2 that gives adjacent minions +1 attack. If you've already heralded twice, it will summon a 2/4 that gives it +2 attack. If you've already heralded 4 times, it will summon a 4/8 that gives it 4 attack. I mean, think about the difference there. Think about 2 mana 0/3 that summons a 4/8 that gives it +4 attack. So it's actually a freaking 4/3 already. Absolutely crazy. The top end of herald cards is mind-blowingly good. A Ritual of Power, 2 mana herald arc here, get 2/1 mono elementals with rush. 2 mana double ping with the 1/2 that gives them 1 attack, so you can attack with 1, it's a 2/1, and another it's a 2/1. Crazy good. This is one of the better herald cards, right? Because technically you get a 2/1 and a 2/1. Yes? Oh, get! Not summon. I was gonna say this is like busted good. 4 mana 2/2/1 rushes. Okay. So this falls into the not very good as an initial cast. Much better from the second cast. It helps you clean up and ping stuff. Very much. You want this in a deck that has more than just itself as a herald. Once you hit 2/3 herald, I think this starts to be really good. Well, no, right? It's 4 mana. Crimson Check for 2/2/1 rushes and a 1/2 that gives adjacent minions +1 attack. This is not super good. Again, what I just said, all herald cards are great after you've heralded a few times. When I say not super good, this is one of those herald cards that initially, i.e. before you play enough herald to upgrade, it's okay, not very good. But once you herald twice, these cards become crazy good. Let's face it, this is mech. Do you think it's mech if it's a 2 mana, summon 4/8, give adjacent minions +4 attack though? It give you 2/1/1 rushes? Like, do you think it sucks if it's a 2 mana 4/8, give adjacent minions +4 attack? I mean, I think it'd be true. Yeah, exactly. I think all herald cards are amazing if you've actually upgraded them. Yes. So something for people to note is that herald cards are upgrade after the cast. The 3rd and the 5th, Lolo. Unless you play the original Colossal, which is on the 2nd and the 4th. So herald cards, they summon the appendage, then upgrade. That's how you have to think of it, yes? So the second time you play it, it summons a soldier, then upgrades, which is why it would be the third cast, which gives you the upgraded soldier. However, if you play 4 Herald cards, although your soldier hasn't been upgraded, your main Colossal would be the double upgraded version. Yeah? So Herald, you basically have to think of the soldier summon as a whenever. Yeah? As the card is cast, then the Herald, right? Then the upgrade, then the upgrade. This is one of the weaker Heralds, I would say. Yeah, I think Herald cards will be strong in Arena in general, but compared to other Heralds, this might be a touch weaker. Fortunately for it, it comes with one of the most busted legendaries though, so that will elevate it for sure. 5 mana air support, 5/5 battlecry, give a friendly minion a Mega Wind Fury. Oh my god, it can't attack heroes, thank the lord. Holy crap, I was about to have a heart attack. Dude. Holy crap. If this could attack heroes, this card would just end games. It's just absolutely dumb. Much worse, typically Mega Wind Fury will not be as applicable. I would assume it's giving a minion Wind Fury and then it dies. A 5 mana 5/5 understated is an okay card. I think depending on what's gonna be in and the situations, it can be crazy. You are almost never attacking 4 times. It can attack face once. That's actually true. I'm gonna get the Mufandi. So you can attack face, then give it Mega Wind Fury, then trade. That's true. I still don't think it makes this card busted. Hey Mufandi, I think you're playing some Slay, right? Let's get a little shout out. Yeah, I gave up on some Hearthstone earlier than I would have normally ended, so thought we'd go with a review, and we've been going for like 3 hours though. Yeah, very nice, Mufandi. Hope you had some fun, man. Good stuff, dude. Thank you for the raid, man. Shout out to Mufandi, fellow Hearthstone Arena streamer. And immune while attacking? So the dragon, that would be awesome. But Briar Spawn doesn't matter, Fofer. You can play Briar Spawn and give it Mega Wind Fury, and what? It doesn't deal excess damage. Yeah, I bought STS2 on Thursday. Mufandi, I played 1 run yesterday and 1 run on Thursday off stream. I thought I'd be absolutely flabbergasted since I have no idea what's going on, but I won both runs, 2 for 2 so far. Don't know about streaming it though. I think this has some niche, super strong situations, by the way, guys. But typically, a minion's gonna die after 2 trades. It's interesting to note that you can go face with the minion and then use it to kill 2 things. 3, 4 things in some random rare case, but you are playing an understated minion for it. I think it's a fine card. Nothing too OP unless it's drafted in the right deck. Not horrible either. Played alone, it sucks, you know. Played on a small minion, it's irrelevant. A Stormbinder, 4 mana 7/7, death rattle, unlock your overloaded mana crystals, overload 3. So the interesting thing about this is that it unlocks all your overloaded mana crystals, not just itself. 3 for a 4 mana 7 is a lot. Absolutely a lot. So you have 2 mana on turn 5, absolutely a lot. This feels a little too bad. Ignoring a 7/7 on turn 4 is not a thing. Even if you skip turn 5, and then they kill it on turn 6 when the unlock means nothing to you. This card is an evolve target. I think if the opponent knows what they're doing, this will be a bad play. It won't always be a bad play, I would say. There are situations where you can make it work, especially with other overload cards in the mix. But as a turn 4 play into not playing nothing on 5 almost, they can choose when to kill it, unlocking nothing for you. Not a big fan of this card. A Ceremonial Clash, 4 mana, summon a random 3/2 and 1 cost minion, overload 1. Interesting. Yeah, it will have its place for sure, Robo. Hey, Nerisia. Summon 3 random 4-drop cards, rotates Bygone Echoes. The Death Knight card. I don't know. You mean summon 4 random 3 costs? The 6 mana card. I would say on average this card is rough because you're paying 5 mana, 6 mana of cards. Without Battlecry effects, right? This card is on average mid, I would say. You mean trash? But I don't mean trash because there exist cards like this and this, but I don't think it's a very good card, no. Yeah, it's probably a mid at best card, pool dependent. But yeah, not a very good card. Cho'Gall, oh my god. Is this the oh no, we have Warrior after this as well. Oh my god, jeez. It's mid even if it's cast for free. This one? I mean, I'm gonna disagree with you, like no. And the 0 mass, I'm gonna 3/2 him off. This is a good card. Yeah, I'm sorry. The idea is this. The idea is this. I can see their plan. Yes. Alright, we're going on to Warlock. This is the Colossal for Warlock. Warlock has Herald, so it's a 9-mana 6/6 Colossal +2 your arms and soldiers. So the arms are the things the Colossal summons, the soldiers are the things the Herald card summons, but they're the same card. Destroy minions in the enemy's deck instead. And this is a 1-mana 1/1. At the end of your turn, destroy the minion to the right to gain +2/+2. I assume this doesn't destroy a Cho'Gall. I assume the one that says to the right is the right one. No, they're both to the right. Wait, what? Do they just eat the main Colossal? Oh, when you play the Colossal, it destroys in deck instead. Sorry, yes. I just said it. If Cho'Gall is in play, it doesn't eat Cho'Gall. Yes, sorry. So, if Cho'Gall is in play, they eat something in the opponent's deck and they gain +2/+2. So, if you play Cho'Gall, you're getting a 9-mana 6/6, summon 2 3/3s, destroy 2 cards in your opponent's deck, which doesn't matter. And these upgrade to... I assume you don't eat 2 minions, right? Though it just buffs to +4/+4 and +8/+8. So a 2/2 that gets +4/+4 is a 6/6. That's pretty solid. And a 4/4 that gets +8/8 is a 12/12. That's strong. This is a stat dump, but it is a little awkward in that, I know, people can kill Cho'Gall and force one arm to eat the other arm. I would put this roughly in the middle spot of the Colossals. It's not the worst, but it is not what I would call a good one. I would assume there's going to be some eating synergy. Yes, we're all going to say egg, yada 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 yada. Mage Colossal is not insane, dude. What fire spells are you thinking of? You thinking it's going to give you Fireball and Flame Strike? What if it gives you Forged and Flames? My issue with something like this, and I've said this before for things like Paladin and Druid, is that they can create synergy for it, but the synergy they will create for this is not something that is synergy with other sets. So what it ends up doing is needing to be drafted with the cards from this set. And yes, you can say egg niche synergy from other sets. Playing the Cho'Gall itself is fine. Playing the Heralds is going to be awkward, I think. That's part of the issue, right? So, Meloriak, the other legendary 7-mana 7/7 dragon, after you discard a minion, summon a copy of it. I assume we're going to get some discard synergy. Without discard synergy, this is going to be a little rough, especially since this has to be in play for the effect to work. Same thing. Discard synergy is going to be very this set. I assume there's going to be some discard cards as well, which for me is rough because it's already telling me there needs to be some discard synergy and some eat synergy. So this expansion is already going to be split, which means it's harder to get the synergy you want. And if you look at cards from the past, they're not that common. You're not going to get a bunch of discard cards or a bunch of eat cards. So I don't think these are going to be very good. Let's see. Duke of Below. 4 mana, rush, 2/2, has +2/+2 for each card you've discarded this game. So not synergy with Meloriak, but discard synergy. You have to discard 2 cards for this to be good. Very difficult to do before turn 4, so it's a turn 6 4-mana 6/6 rush. I mean, for Meloriak, you have to play the card that also discards the minion, though, after the fact. Like, how common is that effect, you know? I mean, the effect is solid, but if you're playing a 7-mana 7/7 as your legendary and you're not doing that... Yeah, that's what I mean, though. How many of them are there and how good will they be? Like, so far, the first discard synergy card isn't even a card you discard. So, has +2/+2 for each card you've discarded this game. So important to know this isn't a battle cry, so it will remain on board. It will keep getting buffed. I would absolutely... I draft Cursed Catacombs all the time. Now, did you? What do you mean? No, you would absolutely draft Cursed Catacombs. Sorry, you would absolutely draft Cursed Catacombs. That way you can choose to play the card or choose to purposely choose a card that gets discarded and played for free. No, absolutely. I would absolutely draft Cursed Catacombs. I play it now. Cursed Catacombs is a great card. This card is, depending on the amount of discard synergy, assuming that the set has like 10 cards, of which half of them are going to synergize with eating and half with discarding, and old cards don't really synergize with discarding, this card's not going to be very good. Oh, do temporary minions count as being discarded is the question. Oh, you meant it's hard to draft. Okay, sorry, that's a different story. Yes? You actually confused me. I'm not actually 100% sure, but we're saying yes. We're saying yes. So temporary is a discard, 100% sure. So it makes it a little interesting. There's like the 3 mana that summons temporary. There's a 1 mana location. A little more intriguing for sure. Alright, moving on. Cursed Chains. 2 mana. Take control of an enemy minion until the end of their turn. It can't attack this turn. Oh, they patched temporary to be discard. Okay, interesting. So this is, on your turn, you take their minion and on their turn, it's still in your control. But you can't attack. Taunt, board swing, eat the card. It ain't a bad card. I would say this card is basically when they have a taunt and you can take it and force them to trade into it, which is niche. Or to get it eaten, basically. Which means you have to have a Herald card over and above it. I think it's fine. It's probably better than a few other modern Warlock targeted removal. I would say it's a solid card. Not like broken, but it's a solid card. I think the strength of it comes in versatility. Taking their taunt to finish the game, taking their taunt to stop their aggression, taking their minion to stop their aggression, right? Taking their minion to eat it. That versatility is what makes it great. Yeah, but there's a lot of different ways you can use it, right? Skill check card. I would agree with there. Shrine of Twilight. 4 mana, 2 durability location, Herald Shokal, draw a card. Interesting. So this is a location, which means you can use it to split eating on the board, right? I assume this will summon a 1/1 to its right, which will eat a minion to its right, which will get +2/+2 if it does eat, right? Actually, do they get +2/+2 even if they don't eat? No, they have to eat to gain +2/+2. The most important thing about this card is that it heralds twice for 1 card. 4 mana draw 2 sucks, though, but you can just do big hand disruptors. 4 mana is painfully slow. The interesting thing about it is you can play it, click it, then play Cho'Gall, click it again, stuff like that. I think, again, the most intriguing thing is this will be a Cho'Gall synergy card, absolutely, is that you can use it as a board splitter, as a staller, and as a board swinger. So I like to think of it more like Overload, right? In the sense that, what do you mean like Overload? Well, you pay 4 mana early on turns where you can afford the downtime, so that on the turn you play Cho'Gall, you summon yet another, what were they? 4/4s and get +8, another 12/12, right? And that's where I think it shines. Also, it makes it easier to fully herald your Colossus, right? 2 of these, max herald. So that is the first Herald card that heralds twice. Something to keep in mind, one of its benefits. Not the bestest card, right? Not the bestest card. I think there's not enough eat synergy yet, personally. So far it's just this. We'll see. Eldritch Tentacle, 6 mana, shadow, deal 3 to all minions, repeat with 1 less damage. 3, 2, I assume, and 1. 6 mana, 6 AoE. Solid removal, I would say. Very solid removal, especially if your plan is something like this. So this is like where your brain has to start worrying. Yes? Do I ever play Shrine, take 6 damage, and then next turn full board clear everything, but then have another Herald ready to go? I would assume it's 3-2-1. Whenever they're worried like this, it's usually 3-2-1, which means with spell damage it goes 4-3-2-1, stuff like that. And this also goes through Death Rattles and Reborn usually, so it's 3 resolution, 2 resolution, 1 resolution. That's how I think it is, which is basically a 6 AoE though, in general. I believe even better than a 6 AoE. I think this is a good card. Reforms a stand 3 mana, deal 2 to 2 random enemy minions. Upgrade each turn, as in +1 damage. This is a solid card. 3 mana, deal 3 to 2 random enemy minions is already power creeping an old card, which you have to have multi-shot. At 4, this becomes great. I think at 4, this is really good. Yeah, Oscar, I mean, at this point, we're going for it. I mean, long, but what can we do? I think this is a good card. It takes way longer than you think to reach 8 and 10. Usually, minions will scale faster than this will scale. Yeah? While in hand. Yeah, usually at the end of turn. So you have it in hand, you end turn, next turn it's a 3, deal 3. I think scaling from 2 to 3 to 4 matches the speed minions scale, because usually minions scale at that health, but usually minions will scale up to 8 faster than this, so I think this will be good at like 4, 5, that kind of range. And obviously, you can keep it and end up dealing 8, so it's really good. And you can use it in a pinch at 2. I think this is a good card. 3.5. It's a good card. Acolytes, 2 mana. When you play or discard this, summon 2 random 1 costs. So this is like a bad version of Flash Forward, in my opinion, but it synergizes with both legendaries. They're 1 cost that can be eaten, and it gets played for free if you discard it. However, how the hell do you discard this? Nothing is discarding yet, chat. Like, nothing is discarding yet. Sure, it's a discard card, but it doesn't summon from the past. Yeah, but also it doesn't give them +1 attack, right? Like, it's more about synergizing with the legendary. legendaries, it's a fine card. I think the intention is the legendary, and for that, it's a fine card. If you're playing it without that, it's not a good card. Two mass summon, 2 random one costs is not a good card, especially when you lose their battle cry, right? That's not a good card. This is played for the legendary effect, absolutely. No idea, Room. I assume all new cards are or will be. 2 mana Shadow Swarm Disciples is the other Herald card. 2 mana 2/1 Battlecry Herald. So this will summon a 1/1 that will eat the companion to its right and get +2/+2. Death Herald restore 3 health to your hero. Nothing too special here. It very much feels like it's very all in to this big stat dump Cho'Gall turn. Nothing bad about this. It's not as bad as the other one potentially, but this is nothing like that's really making Cho'Gall a thing or really making this card a thing. Ocular Occultist, 3 mana 5/6 taunt. Battlecry, choose a 3 mana 3/6 taunt, which is still good. Battlecry, choose a card in your hand to discard. This is a good card. This is a good card. Unfortunately, I think there are not enough discard cards and synergies. I think it still makes a good card though. Thank you very much for the resub, Jacob. I think it still makes a good card. Wild has discard synergy, absolutely, for sure. But in general, I don't think there are enough to make it consistent in Arena, and that is it. So I actually think there's just not enough synergy to make this work. The package for Oh my god, that's bright. The package for Warlock seems too synergy dependent, with 2 little cards for it, both for Cho'Gall and for Maloriak. Obviously always meta dependent, but the package seems too meh. I would say it's more about a Cho'Gall stat dump. Your deck has to be pretty solid. You might actually absolutely not care about the soldiers eating minions, and then drop an upgraded Cho'Gall, which is a stat dump. A 9 mana 6/6 that summons 2 4/4s that both get +8/+8 is actually strong. So I think Cho'Gall will be less about its effect and more about a stat dump. Turn down your monitor brightness. I'm just not used to white mode, my dude. Especially after being in dark mode for 4 hours. Yeah, that's what I think. You might actually use the location on purpose to not eat minions. This is a good card though, this is a very good card. And this is a solid card as well. Otherwise, this is also a solid card. I think that it's about independency though. Alright, we're on to Warrior, which I think is the last class. This is also a Herald class. This is a throwback to Ragnaros. 8 mana, 8/8 Elemental, Colossal +2. At the end of your turn, trigger your minions' death rattles. It's an Elemental as well. Hand of Ragnaros are the appendages. It's a death rattle, deal 2 damage to a random enemy. So it's an 8 mana, 8/8. It summons 2 2/1s that deal 2 to a random enemy at the end of the turn, and also 2 when they die. Solid. I don't think it compares to the Shaman one though, or the Druid one, which I think seem to be the best Colossals. I think the best ones so far are Shaman and Druid in my opinion, Colossal wise. And Demon Hunter as a finisher. And then you've probably got like Rag and Rag probably comes in right after that. Demon Hunter is an unbelievably insane finisher. That's actually very easy to herald. That's my only thing. In any other situation, I would say Ragnaros is better. Let's put them both at like 3rd place. Because when you draft the Colossal, it would be your first card. You could build specifically the deck for it to be a finisher. So I would say those 4 seem to be some of the best ones. Remember, these hands become 4 2s that deal 4. And 8 4s that deal 8. So at max Herald, 4 Herald, this is an 8 mana 8/8 that summons 2 8/4s that deals Rag hit twice, 1 for each arm, and then another Rag hit when they kill the 8/4s. And if they don't kill, Rag will attack as an 8/8 and re-trigger the hands of Ragnaros. Remember, this is a pretty solid one, absolutely. This is a good one. Alright, Commander Geddon, 7 mana 7/7 Elemental, Battlecry. Instead of drawing each turn, discover a card from your deck. It costs 3 less, destroy the others. I'd say this is a good card. However, playing it sucks, but once it lands, I think it's a solid card. Why? I think destroying is irrelevant. Discovering a card from your deck is good, and I think costing 3 less is good. The issue is it is a 7 mana 7/7, so does it even compare to these cards? Absolutely not. Is the effect good? Absolutely yes. Oh wait, it's a battle cry, not a win and play. Dude, I would have expected this to be a win and play. Interesting. I would say this is a solid card. Would discover a card imply you won't take fatigue? Interesting. It's a permanent effect. Interesting. So this is I would say this. I would say that this is a good card normally. What it does is it makes your turn 8, 11 mana, makes your turn 9, 12 mana, makes your turn 10, 13 mana. That's the kind of effect it has. The issue is you play 7 mana, 7/7 for it, a War Golem, which is bad nowadays, right? It's bad. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Burning your deck doesn't matter. Like, how many games do you go on where you gain 3 mana every turn and still need all of the last 5, 6, 7, 8 cards of your deck? Burn them all. They become irrelevant. The issue with this, and which is why I don't think it becomes a solidly good card, is that at the point you start getting the mana cheat is the point that everyone's dropping their Colossal, which just absolutely destroys this. If you're gonna play a 7 mana 7/7 to start gaining 3 mana next turn and your opponent can see with a Colossal, you're dead. Mate, you're dead. You're absolutely dead. The effect comes too late for the expansion it's in. The effect is good, but it's too late for the expansion it's in. You give this to me on I don't know, a 3 mana 3/3. I think it's great. Warrior, this is the second Warrior legendary. Yeah? At 7, the Colossals are 6, 8, 9 mana. You're playing this amidst Colossals, dude. Or amidst Herald Soldiers. Like, it's just too late of a good effect. That's what I would say. I think the effect is a genuine positive, though. People overvalue destroying the cards. The 3 mana and the choice of a card is so much better than destroying 2 cards. So much better. But for it to start at 7 when everyone's dropping their Colossals, ouch. I think that's the issue with it. Alright, Destructive Blaze, 5 mana 3/3. Lord Almighty, Elemental. After this survives damage, summon a Blaze. Grim Patron. Death Rattle deal 2 damage to a random enemy. I mean, this is so bad. I can see what they're doing, man. But when you make a card that's just intended for synergy, it makes it bad everywhere else. I do not like it as a design philosophy. I get it. It's meant to be fun, Grim Patron, cool. But what it does in Standard is tell it, this is a card for Ragnaros. If you're not playing Ragnaros, this card is a literal waste of an epic in your pack. Haha, Keck W. In Arena, it's saying, did you draft Ragnaros? No, Keck W, haha, you have now 2 choices. And that's why I don't like cards like this. It's just absolutely horrendous, dude. Like a 3/3 will survive damage. You need crap cards, though. I disagree. What you need is non-mega effect cards. You need more pack filler cards, I would call them. Things that are fine in Arena, potentially. Not cards. I don't like cards like this because the best example I have is the spell damage Druid expansion, where every card had this amazing spell damage synergy with Druid, but what happened? If you're not playing that specific deck, not only is the expansion dead for you, but anytime you want to draft a deck in Constructed, make a deck that includes that expansion as one of the 3 expansions, you have a dead expansion of Druid, and every time those cards are in Arena, you have a bunch of dead cards because they only work well together and are absolutely abysmal individually. It's bad for Constructed in my opinion as a design, and it's absolutely horrendous for Arena. That's my take. Decimation, 6 mana, deal 1 damage to all minions, improve for each minion on the battlefield. Every Warlock one? No, I think the Warlock ones are better because they enable a Cho'Gall stat dump. Interesting. This is like an aggro counter. I don't like this card very much. It's one of those cards that's so expensive that you have to save it and try to set stuff up, and you get punished for it. At 6 mana, it's too late. Why? You either decide to hold it back and get overrun, or your opponent goes, oh well, I know warriors have decimation, let me trade off 3 small minions, and now instead of dealing 4 AoE, it deals 2 AoE and your opponent has 2 8/8s. This is good versus wide board swarm, but I will say, like I said before, I'm not talking about Standard now. In Standard it may be good because it's countering consistent board swarm deck, yeah? However, I would say in Arena, this is the kind of card that's great in a small amount of situations. I've mentioned a few other cards in this review already like that, which doesn't make the card good. If it's amazing in a tiny amount of situations, overall the card is not great. That's my take. It's a little too expensive and you can get punished so easily at that mana cost. So what if even 1 minion survives? No, you've mistaken me, actually. On turn 5, as you're setting up a decimation, your opponent trades their small minions away. Now, decimation does nothing, right? Not, you've almost killed everything. Yeah, it's easy to play around it. This is a rough card. This is very good in a niche of situations. and unplayable in everything else. So often, are you gonna have it in hand and you don't want to AoE because your opponent has 1 minion? You're waiting to AoE because your opponent has a lot of minions. They kill them off, your decimation is useless again. Also, it hits your side of the board, so not a fan. 4-mana 4/3 understated. Battlecry Herald, okay. So this does summon a 2/1 death rattle, deal 2. Give the soldier rush. Interesting. So it's a 4-mana 4/3, summon a 2/1 rush, deal 2. I like this card. Probably a solid herald. This is a good, actually Paul, this is a good herald, because at worst it's a 4-mana 4/3, summon a 2/1 rush that deals 2 damage when it dies. This could be a 4-mana 4/3, summon an 8/4 rush, deal 8 damage. This is very, very good. Crazy good. I don't think you need to have Rag in deck to Herald, no. Erupting Volcano, location, 3-mana, 3 durability location, deal 3 damage randomly split among enemies. If you played a fire spell this turn, deal 3 more. Depends on the fire spell pool. I think the turn you play this sucks. I kind of compare this very much to Forging a Bellowing Flames, but a little worse, especially for 2026. It's worse than Horizon's Edge, I would say. This card is, depending on how common the fire spells are, and you might say, oh, but Decimation's coming. Decimation doesn't count, we already said. So, this card is You draft it in a pinch. You're not going to be excited to spam click this for sure. Torch, there's a fire spell. See, 1 mana, deal 8 damage to a damaged minion, return this to hand with any excess damage. This card is great. This card's amazing. This card reminds me of Mend. 2 1-mana crazy spells, which by the way can be discovered from that 1-mana Mage Dragon. Very good spell. You have spell damage, it's infinite. No, it isn't. This card is great. What do you mean it can be infinite? How is this infinite? How is this ever infinite? Oh, if you always deal 1 damage with spell, if you always deal X damage with spell damage plus X. That's how it's infinite, yes. But still costs you 1 mana every time, but yes. So you have to have spell damage and warrior, and then all the minions have to be damaged. I don't know. I mean, the card is great. Yes, there's the upside. The card is great. Well, because if you deal 10 Crimson Shack, wait, what do you mean? Why do you need spell damage? Oh, I guess you don't need spell damage. Sorry. Correction to you. Apologies. Who was it? Nikaste. The thing is, it's only really infinite if you're killing minions that are almost dead, right? Kind of thing. Actually, I would say Torch is literally Decimation on steroids. Erupting Volcano helps it. I think this card's great. Torch is amazing. Even just cast like once or whatever, it's amazing, right? But yeah, the issue is each excessive is always reduced, right? So the only thing you have to think about is you always kill the minions that are almost dead the most. Yeah? So first you kill the 1 health minion, so it comes back as a 7, and then you kill the 1 health minion, so it comes back as a 6. Yeah? If you kill the thing that has 7 health first, comes back as a 1, and then you kill a 1 and nothing now, right? This card is great though. Logosh's Last Stand, 5 mana. Give a minion death rattle, summon a random minion from your hand. Remember when my random 5-cost spells or my random Servant of Yogg-Saron kept playing gladiatorial combat? Thank you, Blizzard. Thank you, Blizzard. Well, you can technically I don't know. Your opponent wants to trade with a minion. You Logosh's Last Stand their minion, so when they trade, it summons a minion from your hand, or you could put it on your taunt and it summons another taunt. I mean, sure. It costs 5, guys. 5. I'll give this a 3.5. I'm not rating cards. That's a joke for Twitch. Alright, Cataclysmic Warriors. 3-mana, 3/2, Battlecry Herald Ragnaros. Good card. I think Warrior has the best heralds. There's a Fiery War Axe, which means you're paying 1 mana for the soldier. So you're paying 1 mana for 2/1 death rattle, deal 2, which is basically there's that little elemental that does it now. What's it called? Sizzling Cinder, right? At worst, it's a War Axe and a Sizzling Cinder in 1 card. At worst. I think the Colossus packages, Shaman, the Herald, Shaman, Warrior, Death Knight are great. The non-Herald ones, Druid, still summon the Soldier, Solid Snake. Searing Fisher, 2-mana fire spell. Wow, you think Shaman's not the best Colossus? Damn, I mean, I think they're all at a very high power level to where the deck that you have demo really impacts how good they are. Oh, Herald, the actual Herald cards. Yeah, so I can see them shift a little bit, but I would argue that Shaman might be one of the best Colossals. But yes, DK Warrior and Shaman have the best Colossals with Herald and the best Herald cards. And then obviously depending on how many Heralds you draft, how the rest of your deck looks, like I don't know, is Death Knight full of leeches, and then maybe that's going to be better than a Shaman Colossal deck? Does your Shaman deck have a lot of like freaking Ascendance with minion cheats and totem adjacency effects, and your Death Knight opponent barely has Heralds, where then you're going to be better? They're all in that really high power meta though. Seeing Fisher, 2 mana, deal 1 damage to all minions, give your hero +3 attack this turn. This card is fine. It's fine. It feels like a Whirlwind plus Rockbiter weapon kind of thing packaged into one card. I mean, it is exactly that. I think it's fine. Art is great. I agree. It's not a card that you hate. You can use this 2-mana deal 3, ignoring the 1. You can use this 2-mana deal 4 to a minion. Yeah, has some location synergy. This is a card that you're okay drafting. I'll leave it at that. Alright, and that is the class ones. I hope you're liking this 4-hour review. I know people hate watching long reviews, but people told me that they want me to put this on YouTube, so I might actually at this point. I mean, no matter what agency you have, 5 mana to hit a random minion is rough, chilly. We're going to neutral, yeah. If anyone's still watching here and is enjoying, don't forget to drop me a follow. You'll get to watch me play these cards next week, hopefully, guys. So don't forget to follow, like Rutya. Thank you for the follow, Rutya. I haven't done a review since Arena was down. Was it for Nathria? Alright, we're going to neutrals. So War Master Blackhorn. This card was already nerfed. It is a 7-mana 6/6. It's the free legendary. If you guys haven't logged into Hearthstone, log into Hearthstone ASAP. I mean, when the video goes live, I don't even know if it'll still be there, but it basically was the free legendary. 7-mana 6/6 battle cry. Destroy all cards that cost 2 or less in both players' decks. In Arena, this card is abysmal. A 7-mana 6/6. I mean, we're already complaining about a freaking War Golem. What about 6/6? It reminds me of, what's it called? 8 Hands from Beyond, or whatever the hell it's called. Something that is intended to be better for you, because you are able to draft a deck that is able to make more benefit from it, because you have more expensive cards and they don't. Remember 8 Hands from Beyond, whatever, 8-mana 8/8, destroy all cards in both players' decks apart from the most expensive 10. That kind of feel, but worse. Bad in Arena. They removed, this used to destroy cards in players' hands as well, but they removed that, yes. Because this has been played in Standard since it was the free legendary. Deathwing Worldbreaker. So now. There is another bonus to Herald cards. So yes, Herald have summoned their soldiers, we've explained it. Herald have also upgraded their Colossus. Herald also upgrade the Deathwing hero card if you have drafted it. I assume you can't draft Deathwing and a Colossus. Deathwing is a 10 mana, gain 12 armor hero card that says a battle cry, choose 1 Cataclysm to unleash. You herald twice, it upgrades, you cast 2 Cataclysms, I think, right? Chat, correct me if I'm wrong. You herald 4 times, you cast all 4 Cataclysms, am I right? Exactly. The hero power for Deathwing is +5 attack this turn. Insanely good. Oh damn, it's not good. Oh, there's the scroll. That's why it was out of the screen. So crazy good. And the Cataclysms are summon a 12/12 dragon, shuffle 5 random legendary dragons into your deck. They cost 1. Then you could put Marithra into your deck. Even if you draw it and you play it without the 25 mana thing, it's gonna fill your hand with dragons again. Deal 4 damage to all enemy minions, AoE, and destroy the highest health enemy minion. This is crazy. Board development, Dragon's Reign, Enthrall, value generation, slow but value generation. Typically I would say Enthrall might be the worst one in a given game, unless you're looking for the niche value obviously and your hand is already great. Raise, board clear, burn their board, topple, destroy, target removal. So sometimes you play it for 1 and you either target removal or AoE, or if you're not behind on board you summon the 12/12. Typically I would say for 2 you're probably starting to go raise and topple, or topple and Dragon's Reign, or raise and Dragon's Reign. Why? You clear their board, you summon a big minion, or you clear their large minion, you summon a big minion. Yes, if they don't have a board, this is probably where you start choosing Enthrall. You might go Dragon's Reign to choose a 12/12 and Enthrall, because now you don't need the AoE and the destroy. All 4, you obviously do all 4, guys. You pick 1, or you pick 2, or you get all 4 solid, right? So that would be my take. I think initially you're either looking to raise or topple, and if you don't need either, you Dragon's Reign. drain. So you see whether you need an AoE or a target removal. If you choose 2, you might go raise and topple if you need an AoE and a target removal. If you only need one of those 2, you choose removal, AoE, or target removal, and you probably follow up with a 12-12. If you don't need either, you probably go 12-12 and then thrall. If you have all 4, easy peasy. Or you also pick if you have all 4 because of order. Fair. You might decide to go topple, destroy, into raise, or vice versa because of death rattles and whatnot. Crazy good. Lovely. Altraxion, another dragon. Legendary dragon, 6 mana, 6/7, battle cry, herald your colossal. So people asked if there are neutral heralds. Yes, there are. You can also see that little symbol to the right of the portrait. That means it's a herald class legendary. It is neutral, but it is for herald classes. Yeah. Reduce Deathwing's cost by 1 herald to improve. Interesting. Does herald improve Altraxion's reduction? Interesting. 1, 2, and 3. At 2 and 4. So basically it's a 6 mana, 6/7 herald. And this says herald your colossal, please note. Yeah, it says herald your colossal, so it will summon whatever your colossal is. Yeah. So it summons a soldier, and it makes Deathwing cost 9. If you've already heralded twice, this will summon the upgraded soldier or whatever, reduce Deathwing's cost by 2. If you've heralded 4 times, this will reduce Deathwing's cost by 3. I would assume they're gonna put Altraxion in with Deathwing bucket. Deathwing gives you Altraxion the bucket. Altraxion is not draftable unless it's in Deathwing. That would be my assumption, because this is so for Deathwing. Do you know what I mean? Alright, interesting. Vyranoth, a 6 mana, 6/6 elemental legendary. Wait, sorry, if you've heralded 4 times, reduced by 5. So herald upgrades are only at 2, I think, Zinni, or is this a per 1? Is this a unique thing? Is this a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 reduction? I actually don't know. I didn't do any research. This freaking review or whatever is all off the fly, dude. These cards are new for me as well. So you have to remember as well, my discussion on cards is off the fly. Alright. Either way, I think it's more about a 6/7 herald, which I think a 6 mana 6/7 plus summon a soldier is fine. It's 1, 2, 4, and it is 1, 2, 3 reduction, or it's 1, 2, 4 reduction at no herald, 2 herald, 4 herald. I think a 6 mana 6/7 plus soldier is absolutely fine. I would assume this will be in the Deathwing bucket though, not gonna lie. Yeah, so maybe it's 1, 2, 4 at herald, no herald, 2 herald, 4 herald, right? So what I said basically, but the reduction may be 4 instead of 3. Same point stands, I think. Deathwing doesn't have a soldier, no, but whatever class you are, remember, Altraxion is a herald class legendary. You will summon that soldier. I am pretty sure. Yeah, so if you drop this in warrior, summon a rag soldier. If you drop this in rogue, you'll summon a Sinestra soldier. Well, it doesn't matter whether you've drafted a Colossus or not, Giga. Remember, the intention is also standard, but it doesn't matter. The soldier is summoned nonetheless. I'm pretty sure. And you're linked to new cards. Major my expansion. Alright, moving on to Vyranoth. Yes, they do, Shrimple. 6 mana 6/6 elemental, Vyranoth. Battlecry, the total cost of your starting minions was 100. Split 100 stats among minions in your deck. The second link, Sham. So basically, the idea is you need to draft a set of minions that total 100, and then it gives plus 100 to the minions in your deck randomly. This will not be an arena. I can almost guarantee you this will not be an arena. Oh, plus 50, not plus 100, sorry, plus 50. 100 stats is in plus 50 attack, plus 50 health. This will not be an arena. It will be 2 bad fields. What are you going to do? Keep trying to guess the mana cost of your next bucket only to be ruined by bucket 30? This is not going to be an arena. I can almost guarantee this isn't an arena. Now, it has to be exactly 100. The total cost has to be exactly 100. Now, if you're 17,000 head and you draft a deck with the exact total cost of 100, then discover Vyranoth. Based. I would assume this would not be a pickable legendary. Alright. Gen Cursed King. So 4 mana 5/4, kind of rough stats, but while holding this, if the rest of your hand is all even or all odd, transform to the Worgen King, which is a 4 mana 6/5. That's a solid stat line, kind of like Worgen Greaser. Upgrade your starting hero power, it costs 1. So this is basically the effect of Gen and Baku. This is absolutely possible in Arena, because it depends on your hand. And it transforms, right? It doesn't transform back. So let's say you have a 2 cost and a 4 cost in hand, it transforms. If you draw a 5 cost, well, it's already transformed now, right? I think this is absolutely possible in Arena. I think it's solid. It upgraded hero power for costing 1. I think that's pretty good. Gen? You think it's Gen? I'm pretty sure it's Gen and Baku. I mean, I would read this as Gen. I mean, you might say G. Oh, G gate. Haha. So it has to be G. But what about gentrification, which starts with Gen? It's DJ Yun, actually. It's Japanese. Does Demon Hunters miss out on half the buff? Yes. English is weird sometimes. So the game says, but I've never played Gen. So that's the issue. Hey, going guys, thank you very much for the resub. Yeah, I think this card's pretty good. Class dependent. Some classes have bad upgrades. I follow your logic, but the English language isn't based upon logic. Well, my logic is that I don't think it's laughable to think that it can be Gen, David. That's it. I think this is good. I think this card's good. A 4-mana 6/5 with a double upgrade. I think this is good. The issue is how long it takes you to play it and how impactful the hero powers are. But you have to remember, the hero powers are not bad. So in Warrior, sure, you don't really care about gaining 4 armor. But you put it in Warlock, 1 mana draw a card for free every turn. Won't be better than drafting a Colossal. Absolutely fair. So the fact that you have to choose this over other legendaries makes this a much worse legendary compared to the other ones in the set. But this is absolutely better than some other crap ones. What if I have an 8/9 cost in hand, turn 6? No. If it's transformed already, Solid Snake. But yes, if you have an 8 and 9 cost, then you can't play it until 8 or 9. Sure. I mean, okay. So what if you don't, though? And what are you doing with an 8 and 9 cost in your deck in the first place? I would say this is better than those unplayable legendaries, but yeah, it ain't no Colossus. Yeah, if your hand is an 8 and a 9 cost on turn 4 and literally nothing else, I think you lost. You'd play it as a 4-mana 5/4, by the way, straight up. But think about the Hunter hero power. 1 mana deal 3 is the Hunter hero power, right? 1 mana deal 3. Warlock, 1 mana draw a card for free, no face damage. 1 mana 2/1 charge. Death Knight. Yeah, obviously there are some classes you won't want it, but it's just an interesting think about for sure. Survivalist, 9 mana 6/6 has immune while you control no other minions. I mean, mate. No. There used to be cards that work only, like Eerie Statue was a 4 mana 7/7, can only attack if you have no other minions, for example. This card sucks. Scalp the Jailer, you can't do anything else though. This card sucks. Imagine if you taunt it. So taunt and immune nullifies taunt. Fun fact. Because otherwise, it would be impossible to do anything. Does I give you a giveaway? No. That was for theory crafting people, right, Elite? This is unplayable. I wasn't rating 0 out of 5. Moving on. Gron Giant. Oh, we've got another giant. 9 mana 8/8. This minion's cost is reduced by the cost of the last card you played. This card is solid. You play a 4 cost on 4. This is a 5 mana 8/8. This is good. This is a solid card. This is a genuinely solid card. The reductions count. Yes, I would assume, because it's by the cost of the last card you played. A little bit like a time-bound giant, but a little worse. I can see that. I would say it's always the cost of the what you paid. That's what I would say. What you paid. You gotta think about which is the last card you play. I can't wait for all the order lulls and to top deck Grand Giant into haha chat. Nice try. Interesting. Sticky Bomb Saboteur. 4 mana 4/4. Understated. Give your opponent a 2-cost sabotage. Cards next to it cost 1 more. Pack filler. It's probably a card you're okay drafting, but I wouldn't call this even remotely good. You like this card? The sabotage, I think, goes to the far right of their hand, which means only their top deck and the card they have last in their hand would be sabotaged, I would presume. But you're playing worse than a Yeti for it. I mean, this is like a Frost Plague, dude. Hand space is crucial and demands them to spend 2. I don't think hand space is so crucial. You can choose. You can just spend 1 more and not play sabotage, or get to a point where you just play sabotage and not care. Can ruin a curve. Oh, for sure. But you remember, you've played a 4 mana 4/4, which has ruined your curve. Isn't that viable? Like I said, it is viable, but I don't think it's a good card. Think about the 4 mana 5/4 beast Coilfang Constrictor that used to stop your opponent from playing a card in their hand. Better statted, targeted potential, and absolutely unplayable. Now, do I think this is better? A little bit, but I think it's within the same realm. It could be a 4-mana 4/4, do literally nothing to impact your opponent until they play Sabotage when they can because they have nothing else to do. So basically, you lost the game because you played a 4-mana 4/4. Warlock. We've already done the Warlock cards, but there's another Warlock. 2-mana 1/1 Murloc. Okay, Battlecry, your next Murloc that costs 3 or less costs health instead of mana. I mean, niche Murloc synergy deck. Kind of reminds me of some Warlock cards that there are like this. Yeah, so basically, Demo, what you're saying. So Demo is saying, the upside of this card is in a practical scenario, people will hate holding it. When not playing it is probably correct, and they would play it. So basically, if your opponent doesn't know what they're doing, they don't know what they're doing. Agreed. You have to remember that, right? Playing into your opponent being a bad player does not need you to play Sticky Bomb. Your opponent is a bad player, therefore you've already played into it. You have to remember that. But yes, I guess it creates more situations. This card is bad. I mean, maybe in some niche Murloc synergy deck we could go kick W and draft it, but I mean, no. Faceless Replicator, 3-mana 3/3 elusive. We've already had 3-mana 3/3 elusives in the past. Death Rattle, transform the minion that killed this into a Faceless Replicator. So this reminds me, there used to be a 1-mana 1/2 card that used to do a similar thing. Intriguing. Nothing too special, but intriguing. The Spore, was it called Spore? It was a 1-mana 1/2, yeah? Sporling, Fungerling, Funger Sporling, Chungaling, Fungal Spore. I'll grow on ya! Yes. Reminds me of that. Made better for 2026, but not even as good as that 1-mana card used to be. The truth is, you have to remember this, which is what makes it even worse, right? Transform the minion that killed this into a Faceless Replicator. So A, either your opponent chooses what minion to trade into this. So what would they do? Actually, this is even worse than I initially thought. This is a horrible card. Why? So your opponent would trade a 3/3 into it, for example, and the effect is irrelevant, i.e. you just play the 3-mana 3/3, or they would trade a 4-mana 4/4 into it and end up with a 3/3 instead of a 4/1. From your end, in order to actually use its effect, you have to trade it into a minion that doesn't die. So what are you going to do? Trade it into a 4/5 and make it a 3/3? Well, it's already going to be a 4/2. The only situation it even has remote applicability is, again, if you trade into an 8/7 taunt Death Rattle and that makes it a 3/3. So, like I was saying before, any card that is really good in the most niche of situations, and I'm telling you this card is super niche, is a bad card. It is a bad card. Twisted Monstrosity, 5-mana 6/5 Beast. Slay the Spire vibes here. Elusive and Taunt. Each time this is in your hand, swap between 2 random bonus effects. Over and above Taunt. So this is a 5-mana 6/5 Elusive Taunt Divine Shield Rush. 5-mana 6/5 Elusive Taunt Reborn Divine Shield, for example. This is good. This is a good card. Sometimes you're gonna wish you had played it, but it's a good card. Oh, it swaps Elusive and Taunt. That makes it a little worse. Okay, that makes it a little worse. So it just went from really good to fine. Reminds me very much of Bone Drake. 5-mana 6/5. Bone Drake used to give a random dragon. This has a little bit of a bonus effect. You're probably not ecstatic to draft it. At 5, you're not happy with it for curve reasons, but it is draftable. Now, if it's Elusive Taunt and 2 above it, that's pretty good. Or Bone Drake used to be 6. Maybe. Let's call it 2026 version. That would be my take here anyway. Darkscale Broodmother, 3-mana 4/3 dragon. Battlecry, if you're holding a dragon, refresh 2 mana crystals. I mean, in any deck where you're looking for dragons, top notch. We spoke about it for Hunter, we spoke about it for Druid, was it, I think? This also helps with the Druid playing the spend mana cost early, remember? So any deck which is looking for a dragon, not only is it itself a dragon, but it will then refresh 2 mana crystals, being a 1-mana 4/3. So in any dragon deck, must draft. In any non-dragon deck, So this is like a top-notch, top-tier must-draft card in the dragon decks though. Yeah, so you want to play that dragon that we spoke about, Druid, the 4/5 that summons 2 3/3s? There are actually ways. Earthen Drake, 5-mana 4/4, so really understated. Elemental Dragon, at the end of your turn, deal 4 damage to the enemy hero. This is not a good card. There have been many cards in the past which have done some semblance of dealing damage to the enemy hero, and they've always thought to have been good and then not been. Yes, oh my god, your opponent's at 4 health, it's killed them. Sure. Oh my god, it's in Paladin and I have double end of turn effects. Sure. You play a 5-mana 4/4. If this card isn't helping end the game, you've lost the game. This reminds me of, I don't know, there used to be cards like this. So there was a 2-mana 0/3 Serpent Shrine Totem. It used to deal 2 at the end of turn. And then there used to be cards like Ashen Elemental, 3-mana 2/4, deal 2 for every card they draw. This is the kind of thing that reminds me of those cards. You probably don't even know what cards I'm talking about, and that should tell you more about this card. Shadow Informant, 2-mana 2/2 Dragon. Okay, battle card, discover a spell from your class. Swaps class each turn. This is cool. No idea, Pickle Loaf. This is cool. This reminds me very much of Travel Agent, of Sketchy Secure, Sketchy Informant that used to discover secrets. But better, you know, because a spell is typically better than a secret, or typically better than a location, typically. You also get to choose or see which class you're discovering from. It's understated, but it is also a dragon. I think this is a solid card. You wouldn't be unhappy drafting this, not in Giga Premium, but it's a nice neutral for Arena. Selfless Protector, 2-mana 2/6 taunt, takes 1 extra damage from all sources. This is nothing special. This is a 2-mana 2/3 taunt. You never wait for a specific class. Well, I don't think you wait for a specific class, but you may decide to play it earlier than you would have normally intended to if it hits a specific class. Hence why seeing the class makes a difference. Yeah, this is a fine card. These are the curve fillers for Arena, I call them. The cards, you're not ecstatic to draft, but the cards that are better than the crap cards for curve. I think Tuesday, I would assume Tuesday, Ronaldinho. Kills a 3/2 without dying. Oh, it's 1 extra damage, not doubled. Oh yeah, this is better than that actually. Still, I stand by what I said, but even better, I thought it was doubled. More like a 2/4, which we've seen in the past 2/4 taunts. Vulgar Homunculus and such. Nothing too special, but same thing I said. A card that you're happy to draft for curve purposes, but not the card that you're most ecstatic to draft for the curve. Envoy of the End, 5-mana 5/4 taunt. So kind of really badly statted, but Battlecry Herald, you're colossal. So this is more of a Herald card. It has the Herald symbol here. It's probably solid in Herald decks, especially if you're looking to go up to the 4th Herald. You probably want to pick cards like this in Herald decks, because this card becomes crazy good if you've upgraded your Heralds. We've said this for all the Herald cards, and I would say it every single time. If your Herald cards are upgraded faster, all the Herald cards become super strong. Does the 2/6? No, because it says 1 extra damage. The 0 is not dealing damage. So it does. So someone asked whether this takes 1 damage from a 0 attack minion, like if you trade into it. I would assume no. You want this in a Herald deck. The Envoy of the End. Easy. Gemstone Hoarder, 3-mana 3/4 battle cry. Choose a card in your hand to discard. Death Rattle, get it back, it costs 1 less. This is oddly a solid card. Interesting synergy with the Warlock, by the way. They do, as far as I know, Kane. In the sense, it's a 3-mana 3/4. Summon the card for free with the discard synergy, yes. But you also still get it back, I presume. I think this is still a good card, though. It's one of those, again, nothing too ecstatic for you. But truthfully, it's a 3-mana 3/4 that gives you a mana, but tells your opponent what the card is. I think this is a solid card. You probably would not hate drafting this. Oh yes, there are counters. Silence, sap. This card usually shows what it is, right, Obi? You can see that this card come out of hand. Again, you probably draft this in a fine Arena deck as a way of gaining 1 mana. Like, I don't know, your opponent plays a 4/5, you play this into it, you chuck your 5 cost, but now your 5 cost come back, you play it on 4 and use it as a catch-up mechanic. Something like that. Again, same thing as what I was saying, like this. Probably a fine 4 curve card. Nothing too ecstatic, but it's just okay. 2 mana, 5/3 Battlecry, freeze this. Interesting. This is probably fine. Bad? You think it's bad? I don't think it's bad. I mean, I would not be ecstatic to draft this, don't get me wrong. I think it's fine. Why do I think it's fine? So, if it's frozen and they're ignoring it, then it's killing their 4-drop. If they're trading their 2-drop into it, then it's gone 2/4/2, which is exactly what you would have wanted it to do. I think it's just okay. If it was 3/5, it would be busted. If it was 3/5, it would be absolutely busted. As a 5/3, it will 1-for-1 all 2-drops. Yes, i.e., if your opponent decides to trade into it because they're scared of what it will do to their 4-drop, then it's done the job of a normal 2-drop, if not better, because a 2/3 does not kill a 2/3, etc, etc. However, it will represent killing their 4-drop. It's like the 2-mana 5/5 guy. I would say it's a little worse than the 2-mana 5/5 guy. Although this can go face, huh? I mean, it's within the realm of that 2-mana 5/5 guy that dies. It's exactly what I was thinking about, actually. It's an amazing card. I think it's a fine card. Dormant Demon was 3-5. Dormant 2 though, jeez Louise. And that card was busted good, Bambucha. And remained good when it came back like last year. Not insane, but can't attack next turn. No. That's why I said 4 drops, right? Evolve into this from a 1-drop. Summon it as the random 2 from that Shaman card that people said was crap. Nothing too exciting with this one. Nothing too great either. I just don't think it's dog crap. I think it's just an okay 2. There are probably much better 2s than it. There are surely much better 2s than it. But in a pinch, it is a playable 2. Twilight Egg, 1 mana 0/2 death rattle, summon a 2/2 whelp, gains +1/+1 at the start of your turns. I assume the whelp gains +1/+1, so basically the longer it takes this egg to pop, the larger the whelp is. Classic egg. In fact, I would say a little better than usual eggs. Probably something that you can fit into your Warlock deck. Eggs, as usual, are usually tough to pop. I would say for an egg, this is pretty good, but it still has the problem of the usual eggs. Isn't this insane? I mean, for an egg, it's really good, but it's still an egg in that you have to draw the card, so it costs you a card slot. You have to draft the card, you have to pay 1 mana for it, and then you have to find a way to kill a 0/2 to get a 2/2. And if you wait, you will get a 3/3, you will get a 4/4, but I mean, what are you gonna get, a 5/5 for having wasted a card 3 turns later? I think for an egg, it's great, but it is still an egg. So when you have a deck that can work well with egg, then it's good. It's just, yeah, that's what 12 was just saying. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have not found confusion with anything except the legendary dragon that reduces Deathwing's cost. Every other one has been pretty straightforward to me. I can understand people getting confused with this though. The brackets after the whelp implies it's referring to the whelp. If there was referring to the egg, there wouldn't be brackets. But I can understand confusion with this, to be fair. Herald. So Herald as a keyword is the most confusing keyword I have ever seen. When I was when I had the reveal, I got confused. And I kept forgetting that they summoned the soldier, and I kept saying, oh, this card might not be good. And I actually said in the reveal, I have to keep reminding myself, I actually said out loud, I have to remind myself that it summons the soldier. I keep forgetting. I said it out loud on purpose for myself. I think they are famous for people getting confused by them if they are not aware of how things usually work. But ambiguity in their cards, I think, is rarer than people think. But I can see people getting confused with this, but I can tell you it's the whelp because of how they consistently would put it in brackets. Now you might say it's ambiguous. I understand that. That's fair. It's fair because nobody plays, or rarely any people play as much as me. So I would call this ambiguous. I agree. I think this is a solid card for an egg. Bronzekeeper, 8-mana 3/7 dragon. At the end of your turn, summon a 6/6 elemental dragon with divine shield. Solid. Dies very easily, but the 6/6 Divine Shield is not bad. I think this is a solid card. I feel like for me to call it good, this had to have taunt. It's just solid. It's a snowball card, you have to kill it. In killing it, you let the 6/6 roam. In certain decks, like Paladin, it can be crazy, but you have to have set up the aura before. I'm not rating cards, Dinas. We're just going through the cards, talking about them. I think personally, ratings are, oh, you'd give solid above good. Oh, I don't know. Dude, solid is just a fine card. It's good. The solid and good are within the same realm, I guess. So, I don't know. The entire point is I'm not trying to rate them. Solid and good, they're not above each other. And that's irrelevant. Like I would tell you again. You put Bronzekeeper in a classic meta, it is absolutely a 27 million out of 5-star card. You put it in the modern meta, and it's way less than that. So what relevancy does it have if I tell you it's a 3 out of 5? If I don't even know the cards is going to be played next to, or other cards are surrounding it, or the deck you're playing it in, or your opponent's deck, or the curve of your deck. I'll tell you 3 out of 5. You'd come, you'd show me your horrible deck, you tell me, Kick W, it was a 0 out of 5. And someone else comes, show me their Paladin deck, tells me, 5 out of 5, your rating was wrong. Relevancy, 0. The person that said 5 on 5, Kick W. The person that said 0, Kick W. The person that said 3 out of 5, Kick W. I think talking about the cards, understanding how they work and how they're playing in light of everything else, talking about potential synergies and understanding why, how, and when the cards are good or not good, maybe things that wouldn't have crossed your mind, is the best, personally. I think this is a fine card. It's just, this is the thing, right? This is why I stared at it for a little bit. It's a card that can snowball, and when it can snowball, it can represent a winning condition. Oh, sorry. So solid is fine. It would be really good if it had taunt. If it had taunt, this card would be like really good. You draft this card. As is, I'm not even sure about drafting it because it's clunky, it's slow, and a 3/7 is easy to kill. Yes? Now, the benefit is that whilst they're focusing on the 3/7, it summon the 6/6. If they can't kill the 3/7, it's snowballed and you might win. However, at 8 mana, your opponent is playing Colossals. This card is outshone, like, it's not even in the same realm. That's the issue. It's probably a draftable over crap, but you do not want these kind of clunky cards in Arena anymore. This card very much reminds me of the 10 mana 6/7 assembly bot that summons a 6/7 that auto attacks, that gives you the 1/1 mini. It's within that realm, I think. It's within that realm. Clunky, late game cards that have snowball potential. Sometimes you're gonna draft them. Sometimes they're going to scam you, but most times you're gonna veer away from them. 7 mana dragon 8/6, Dracodon Mongrel, Death Rattle summon 2 random 4 costs. Like this cheese 7/9. This is like the 7/9 cheese guy. I think Monstrosity is better than this because of the taunt, and the assembly bot has many. I mean, this has Divine Shield though, right? It's that realm. Monstrosity, assembly bot, Bronze Cave. They're clunky late game cards that sometimes will and absolutely will scam you, and will and absolutely will snowball. But typically they're clunkier cards that you want to veer away from. That's my best rating. This card feels slow. Again, nowadays, modern Hearthstone, when you play expensive cards, you need immediate impact. Now again, you probably can draft this because an 8/6 will clock your opponent for a lot of damage, and if they kill it, it will be hard to clear. I think that the interesting tangential or tidbit about this is that it's a dragon. So in dragon decks, you can use this as a dragon activator, which elevates it from a card that's a little clunky to a card that activates the rest of your cards and then lands on the board. Hunter, give dragons rush. Whew. I mean, typically you want to veer away from clunky cards, I would say though. This one's a little sticky. It very much makes me think of Space Rock. Yeah? How good is Space Rock nowadays? Sometimes it will land and scam you, but typically it's just absolutely too slow, right? And that summons 2 4/4s, which summons 2 2/2s, which summons a bunch of 1/1s. This summons 2 4/4s. Containment Unit, Space Rock. How many times do you see people ecstatic to draft those cards nowadays? They draft them, but typically they're cards you're already thinking about, how can I improve? Kyrie, 1/1/2 dragon. Battle card, get a random dragon that costs 3 or less. Great card. A great card right here. It's one of those 1-drops that you use for filler and that actually gives you some value that, more importantly, if you play Kyrie Whelp on 1, will help you curve out. I mean, there's like the 4-mana 7/7 Aluna, there are high rolls, but whenever you look at a card like this, don't play it because you expect the high roll, because I can guarantee you, more often than not, the high roll you will not get. For every high roll you think of the worst possible 4 you can get. Typically, assume Yeti of stats. 4 4s, 4 5s, something like that. Assume an average. This card's really good. Not the most premium one, but it's a dragon, so it activates dragon cards. This card will be great to activate all of those hunter cards. It'll give you some curve help. It's a nice card. This is a card that, because of its effect, probably remains solid until later in the game as well, because it gives you something and it's not just about the 1/2, unlike some of the other 1-mana cards we've seen. Battlefield Blaster, 3-mana 3/4. Battle card, choose a spell in your hand to give spell damage +1. This is a good card as well. 3-mana 3/4. Nowadays in Arena, you still draft cards that are 3-mana 3/4. The fact you can target a spell and give it spell damage +1 is great. It's amazing with all of the mediocre mage cards we spoke about. It actually elevates them, but many things, AoEs, cards that you use have double targeting, like, I don't know, deal 4 and 2 AoE, stuff like that. It elevates them all. I don't know what happens with buffing shattered cards and merging. I actually don't know, but I would say this card is solid as well. You'd absolutely draft this. It's not the card you're most ecstatic to draft, but you would absolutely draft this. There are so many cards that you would say are bad and you don't want. This is probably in the realm of sure I'll take this, sure I'll take this, sure I'll take this. Yeah. Scaled Lancer, 4-mana 6/6 dragon. All enemy minions have taunt. Interesting. I like this. I think this is a good card. Holy crap, Roku. So first of all, 4-mana 6/6 is great, right? 4-mana 6/6 is great. But the most important thing, as I was going to say, but someone in chat put it way better than I could have said it, when all enemies have taunt, none of them do. Almost. So you can't ship your minions face, but they can't protect minions behind taunt. So this is great at big stat. This is great at mid-game board control. It's not great at pushing damage face, but at mid-game board control, which is a very frequent way that you should play out mid-game in Arena, this is great because you get to dictate the trades that you want if your opponent has ever played card taunts in front of cards, and you're playing a 4-mana 6/6 for it. Like, a 4-mana 6/6 is strong, so I think this is a good card, right? It's a card that has a lot of uses, is overstated, and plays well in most situations, right? Not in all because of the taunt going face, but as opposed to the cards that are very good in a niche situation I've mentioned before, this is a good card in most situations, which makes them a very good card. It's also a dragon. It's also a dragon. Alright, next, Sheltered Survivor. 2-mana, 2/3, Battle Cry. Choose a card in your hand to shuffle into your deck, draw a card. Rogue Quest, anyone? Can also be a dead card. This can be a dead card? Why? Just play a 4-mana 6/6. Oh, as in because you could be pushing lethal and trying to finish the game? Yeah, sure. But again, exclamation mark expansion, maybe. This is a good card. The fact that you choose a card to shuffle, I would assume they follow in order. The list is the second link, BB. So I'm using hsreplay.net. For this list, HS Replay have actually created a card reveal page, which is this one that I'm using, which I think is really awesome. They've summarized it. It used to actually show the reveals by date, and it has all of the filters. You can filter by class and all of the different filters. HS Replay, great site. I think this is a good card. It helps you fix curve, basically. I think it's a good 2. There's nothing else to it. I think it's a good 2. Not a premium 2, but it's a good 2. You would absolutely drop this for curve. Sometimes people tell me, why are you drafting 2-mana, 2/3 Battle Cry Dredge a card? Because it's a 2/3 with upside. I need my 2-drops. This falls in that category. It's a 2-mana 2/3 with upside, I feel. There are a niche amount of situations where the upside kicks you, but in a general amount of situations, it's a positive. Good stuff. So this is the HS Replay side I was using. They had their whole reveal schedule over here. The reveal timeline. You can go to filter here, and you can just filter by the classes. So if you're looking to use this site for yourself, hsreplay.net. At the top, they have a banner that says card reveals, or you can go yourself to hsreplay.net/card-reveals. HS Replay have these nice. That's pretty cool. I hope you all enjoy it. I might put this up on YouTube. Unfortunately, it will be a 5-hour thing, which might not be it. But to anyone watching this on YouTube, by the time you watch this, I would expect the Arena rotation to have happened and the Cataclysm cards to be in Arena. A reminder to everyone that the Cataclysm expansion comes out on the 17th March, the Cataclysm patch comes out on the 10th March, and typically the patch comes with the Arena cards, the Arena rotation. So that means the Cataclysm cards are out in the Cataclysm cards are in Arena with the rotation a week early. Typically is what would happen, and I would expect it to happen this time. So 10th March, Tuesday 10th March, which is next Tuesday. Today is the 7th March as I'm speaking here. Next Tuesday will be the full Arena rotation. So I'll try to post this. It might be Wednesday when I post it. It might be a little late. I don't know. We'll try and post it as soon as I can, so that people can go back and look at it if they're ever interested. I never really posted something like this, so maybe it's worth giving it a go. Let me know in the comments for YouTube whether you like this sort of thing, right? Let me know, do you like this? Because if you like this thing a lot, make sure you like the video, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Let me know in the comments. I would do these things earlier. And the reason I didn't do it earlier is usually people do not like this enough. That's why it's so late, and that's why I'm not posting it before the rotation. But let me know in the comments, please. It's vital that you let me know in the comments if you like these things, because I will not do it again if people don't like it, because usually I like to keep my cards secret more for the whole excitement, you know? But yeah, let me know down below. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm really excited for the Cataclysm stuff, so make sure you subscribe to the channel for all the YouTubers. Twitch, I'll be playing it ASAP to see some of the new Cataclysm stuff, hopefully on Tuesday. But excited to see all the new stuff and get some rotation to remove the staleness.